How about now?
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome to I Don't Make This Stuff Up. I'm Thomas J. Bellezza. This is JD McGibney, I want to
Hey guys,
say. I want
how
to
you
say
doing?
JD.
I also sometimes go by
JD.
Tim.
What is the name you went by when you were growing up that wasn't JD or your first name? Did you have like a nickname? Like douchebag?
There was this one kid in junior high.
Yeah, what grade?
Actually, like 7th grade,
Was that
who
like
could
junior
not
high?
say my name, like my
Wait,
last
what?
name at all. So he just called me
I
Elmo.
thought you couldn't say JD.
Yeah, he had this
What
weird-
class were you in?
He had this weird bone marrow thing where he couldn't say the letter J.
All right. He couldn't say my name. You mean JD? Yeah, at all.
It would just come out.
What was wrong
D.
with him? He was a mute. Oh, well, you know what? That ain't too
Oh.
bad.
That makes this story makes a lot more sense.
I had kids that couldn't say my name because they kept calling me like loser, nerd, geek.
Which is weird because Thomas
Puerto
doesn't have
Rican.
a G or an L.
What do you mean?
What? That's a weird speech impediment.
All right. So today we're gonna do something a little different. All right.
Uh,
What do you think we're gonna do, JD?
Paper mache.
All right, go ahead, JD. What are we talking about today?
I guess we're talking about some things. We're talking about stuff.
Yeah, go ahead.
What are we doing?
I'm asking you. You got the show. Camera's on you.
I mean, hey guys, how you doing? Hope everyone's having a wonderful.
Yeah, no. Talk to me like
Valentine's
I
Day.
guess you normally when you host a show or you're talking to someone, you just talk to each other. I look at the camera because I have to do producing stuff, but I
right.
try to make it look like I'm looking at you, and then I just kind of like look over there. Like right now, I could look at the camera
We should
because
just have
I'm
you
off
wear
camera.
sunglasses.
See, I'm just over here. I'm wearing. I wear my sunglasses at night so I can.
What the rest of the
I don't. Who knows?
I lost it after that.
Isn't that from Bite Me? I don't know. All right.
Oh.
So go ahead.
So Thomas,
What?
you've been in the entertainment industry ever since basically you were in diapers.
I think I was in it. I left it when you started.
Yeah, pretty much.
Right.
Yeah, no, I had just recently graduated from high school, and you were pretty much going, I'm
High
tired
school.
of
What
this.
grade was that?
At least 14th grade.
What is that? Oh, you know, it's funny in Japan. That's what it would be.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they go to 14th grade.
That's interesting.
They don't even stop school. They go and then they don't. I don't think they even have a summer school. I could be wrong on that, but
Well, in Europe, they're like the university system is like the education system is set up differently, so that there's high school, university, and then college, if I'm not mistaken. Is that correct? Or
I don't know about Europe. I just know Japan schools have 3 semesters separated by vacations. At most schools, summer vacation covers the 40 odd days from July 20th to August 31st, winter and spring. They have that's interesting. How long is it? So they do have breaks. It looks like that. Most no, it's breaks between grades.
What do you mean breaks? Like
when you're done with elementary school,
you take a break.
You take a 40 days of summer break.
Wait, so like all of elementary school?
Yeah, most elementary, middle, and high schools in Japan have about 40 days of summer break. So it's in between grades like we do.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
you need to have that mental reset, or else your brain just goes, "I'm fried."
Yeah, the school year. Oh no. These are breaks are like Czars. It's saying. So they don't have breaks. They don't have breaks in between grades like we do. They have breaks like we have for our holidays, but they don't have a.
Gotcha. But then there's obviously a point where you level up.
Yeah, the school year in Japan is year-round. It starts at the beginning of April and goes until late March. Students start school at age 6. The school week spans from Monday to Friday, but many schools also offer optional classes on Saturday.
Interesting.
Yeah, I knew they didn't take. Yeah, they just go to school, and then they're done. And how many grades? Japan grades.
It's interesting to see like the education system from like country to country. How it varies so
is that
differently.
what we call them? Grades? Like how many?
Yeah, I guess we would call it grades, like first grade, second grade. But at what point though? I imagine it goes from the grade system to university level or like college, depending on where you are. Correct? Maybe. 12 grades.
They have 12 grades for there, but they educate is mandatory until age 16, like us. Oh, this is United States.
Oh,
how many grades of school are there? Oh.
In Japan.
Yeah, because the basic school system in Japan is composed of elementary school, lasting 6 years. Middle school is 3. So was that 9?
Yeah.
High school is 3. So
12.
10, 11, 12. And university 4 years. But it's part of their system.
Which, if I'm not mistaken, it's like that in some European countries as well. and then after university, there's college.
Yeah, 98% go off to high school from middle school, but their university is a part of their education system, not like where we're done and we're like, do I want to go or do I not want to go?
Yeah.
So that extra 4 years is what I was thinking of. So
I wonder if they also part of their system is like when they're in high school, if they start getting to choose more like where they want to, focus their education,
I don't know.
as opposed to just like everyone has to learn.
I mean, is this what
everything.
you want to talk about for the show today, or?
I mean, we can definitely switch our topic.
Well, I mean, it's up to
But
you.
my going back, your favorite slogan.
Yep. See, JD show. Go ahead.
Yep.
Going back.
Oh yeah, I gotta bring it over here to the mic so we can actually hear them.
Oh, I heard it. Oh, you were.
There we go.
All right.
So yeah, you've basically been in entertainment since you were in the time of diapers.
Yes.
So
Here it comes.
how do you feel that your appreciation, your draw to entertainment has changed for like why do you feel like it has evolved going from say like drawing, being an artist in that sense, to music, to film, and how is it do you feel that all of those arts kind of play together?
What are you saying?
I'm asking what is it that
What's going on?
ultimately caused the evolution of you as an artist?
Are you saying why did I choose to change my trajectory from I was projected to do great things.
I mean, I could definitely see that.
But the trajectory, thank you for that, is I have dyslexia. This trajectory, you mean from being an artist to a musician to a producer?
Yeah.
Money and control.
I guess that makes sense.
All right, next.
So
what do I tell people to do?
Have control.
Have control, make the most money, and then help others. Done. Next.
So why is
this
it
is good. I could
why
do this
is
all
it
day.
that you felt
that was a good show?
that
This is JD's Left Show. All right,
Goodbye, everybody.
Why do I feel
why
that?
is it
what?
you didn't make the jump directly from being like a comic book artist into film? Why the diversion into music first?
Because I wasn't gay and I don't do theater. No,
Why don't
that's a joke. I used to own a theater.
You definitely did
I'm
own
a
a theater
guy, so I know that they're gay. But why? Probably because music is like it's part of my family, so that would be the even though a majority of my family also worked in the film industry and television industry.
Well, your grandfather was very big in music way back in the day. If I remember correctly, that's where know, your love originally came from.
Yep.
That's wonderful. So did
See
you
what it
get
feels like?
did you get most of your I guess business savvy from the entertainment and in the entertainment industry from your grandfather as well? Or is it just he was mainly an artist? Because remember, we've had many conversations where you said people in your family were very business savvy. You know, multiple people have run businesses.
Yeah, on my mom's side, they were business savvy. On my dad's side, they were artists. So, I was like rich dad, poor dad, except it was artist brain, business brain.
Artist dad.
My business grandfather would tell me, snap out of it. And my artist grandfather would say, no, you got to be on the one. Be on the 1 and 3. Boom, 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 boom.
Now, did those two, when they met each other, like at family functions, did they butt heads often, or were they like best buddies?
I don't know.
All right.
I don't even know how to answer that. They were Italians, so I didn't know at the time.
Did they speak only in Italian?
When they were, talking.
I mean, I guess that makes sense. Yeah. They were Italian.
They were Sicilians, yeah.
So,
see what this feels like?
It's great.
I bet it is. Keep going. This is fun.
Oh, man.
You're going to rethink a lot of stuff after this, aren't you? Go ahead. I like this. I don't want to.
So when you were a kid, did you ever have?
That's a little too personal.
Boobs.
Can we talk about something else? Yep.
Did you? Was the idea of having an artist brain and a business brain as a child conflicting for you, or did it always just kind of make sense?
Yes. As a child, like how old as a child?
Well, you said like you had like the one grandfather teaching you business and the other one teaching you art. So when you were a kid, did you ever feel like any of that information conflicted with one another, or were you able to? You feel
it all conflicts with each other.
My question to you though is, were you able to make sense of everything to make move forward and see?
Yeah, I'm a genius. Well, if someone's talking to you about business,
Mhm.
I'm obviously making jokes. I know I'm a genius, but of course I would understand physics at my age. If someone's talking business, that's not art. So it's not that it was confusing. It's just
Well,
one was business talk
one was art talk.
and one was art talk. So they didn't contradict each other or conflict. It's
the
just
reason-
which one do you choose to do?
The reason why I say the conflicting thing is because one of the things that we mention a lot on the show
Yeah, go ahead.
is, sometimes
Mhm.
artists tend to
Yeah.
mix the two and get everything, muddled, and therefore creating an unnecessary
They don't mix
conflict.
it. Artists don't. They're not mixing it. The artists think they know what they're doing. They're using art to dictate business, but they're not necessarily doing business. Because if they were using the artist brain and then doing business, they would no longer be doing the art brain. So if someone goes, "Oh, I'm going to make an album to make money," they're not using the business brain. They're just using the art brain to make money. So it's not like they're mixing up the two. They don't know. They're not leaving the one zone. So if your artist brain goes, if I make 1,500 paintings, I'm going to sell every single one of them. I'll be a millionaire, and I'll get people to buy them for 100,000 each. I just have to get into a gallery. So let me go check it out. Oh, I got to pay to get into a gallery. Hey, Ma, can I borrow $2,000 to get into the gallery? And then you realize, oh, I got to market it. All right, I'll just try to get my friends involved, but I won't pay them. None of this is business brain. This is all art brain. They're all trying. How do I get people to buy my art, and not necessarily thinking like a business? How do I get people to buy into my brand?
So you're saying that you at no point ever had that conflict within your.
I didn't have the conflict. I just thought like an artist until I didn't. It wasn't like, oh, there's this business thing you should do, but let's also like change it up and do it. Because the moment you think like an artist, you're no longer a business. And if you use your art to become successful, do you know who Andy Warhol?
Andy Warhol.
Andy
Yes,
Warhol.
That guy.
Did you know he only did what he did as a joke?
Really? I did not.
First of all, he was wealthy. I don't know if you know this. Watch. I mean, was Andy Warhol wealthy before art? Right.
I mean,
he once filmed an 8-hour movie or something like that, and showed it, screened it.
That is insane. I mean, I love Lord of the Rings, but I need pee breaks every now and again.
He wanted to be an illustrator, though. Did you know that?
I didn't.
Yeah. He was a successful illustrator for the New Yorker. Anyway, what he did was, as a joke to show you brand, he just started using brands to turn into his brand. That's why you have the famous soup.
Oh, the Campbell soup.
And he would just for it, and then he took Marilyn Monroe, for'd it.
That's really funny.
He did that to prove a point that like it's not really art.
But people are like, oh my God, this is genius.
But his orange Marilyn sold for $17.3 million.
Holy sweet Jesus.
Anyway, so he was innovative like that. Like he used to try to mess with the system. And I think
he did.
Let me see something. Filmed an 8-hour movie. Yeah. Empire is 1964 black and white silent art. It's a silent film as well. When projected, according to Warhol's specifications, it consists of 8 hours and 5 minutes of slow motion footage of an unchanging view of the Empire State Building.
It's 8 hours of slow-mo view of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, and he screened it.
Oh my God.
Anyway, Andy Warhol, everyone.
I think that is worse than the banana duct tape to the wall.
It's not worse. He's proving a point.
What I'm saying is worse, as in like, I feel like that is torture.
It's not that that's torture. People watched it because it was Andy Warhol. That's the point.
Which I understand.
He's a marketing genius when it comes to that kind of stuff. And even his art was just a commentary on how ridiculous marketing is. As you can see, he worked in illustration, which is, it's form of marketing with the New Yorker. Anyway. All right, good question.
Thanks. I got a decent response out of you. I like it. Meh.
Change the topic to Andy Warhol. Go ahead. What else? Are we almost done? We got 40 minutes. All right.
And that's it. Good night, everybody.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good episode. Oh, we got some comments here.
We got a comment.
Let's see. Nope.
We don't got any comments. I can't read. It's behind me.
I can't see it. I can't say. Later on, we'll get a comment that says, "Ooh, check me out at 30 seconds." And it'll be one of those like 6 seconds. Then we gotta delete it. Anyway.
Yeah. I totally had a question for you. Now it's all gone.
Oh, questions. Good. I like it. It's just questions. All right, go ahead.
Oh man.
Got any topics or just questions?
Well, I like diving into questions.
Yeah, you like me teaching you.
I do like you teaching me and then arguing with you. It's kind of our rhetoric.
I hate the arguing.
Well, initially it just turns into me questioning, and then it turns into an argument after me questioning.
Well, yeah, because you learn from people who have been doing it for 10 years, and I've been learning it for over 20. But over the years, technique has changed, but process has always been identical.
I mean, I'll agree with that 100%.
For example, if I told you should go around the clubs and start handing out flyers, and then someone says, no, you just go on social media and start sending people invites. It's literally the same thing.
And people go, no.
And they go, no, it's a new technique. I go, no, it's the same thing. You're laying it down, throwing it out. That's what flyers are. Lay it down, throw it. Flyers are, here you go, throw it out. Putting flyers down on a counter is lay it down, throw it out. Sending an invite is please delete this, right?
Or ignore.
Or burn it. Or say you're gonna go just so you're like your conscience
and you're like, is covered. No, something happened.
They showed that, and then you have to write it like, hey man, I know the thing is like in 3 days, but I can't make it because I made other plans. Oh, so you really thank you for the value of our friendship.
When were we friends?
But anyway, the technique is still the same, even though that there's a years difference.
Is the technical term for that annoy people?
No, it's called selfishness.
Yeah, annoy
it's
people.
The artist brain. Please come to my show. Why? Because it's gonna be awesome. How do I know? How much is it? Oh, it's $20. I'm gonna spend $20 to come see you play. All right, I'll tell you what. Just give me 10. 10? All right. Now, why was that bad? Because now you don't make any money on the ticket.
And you've also devalued yourself.
Yeah. You know what? You don't believe it. I don't believe enough in myself to say
I'm worth $20.
So I just want you out there. Why do you want me there? Because I want people to see us. Why do you want people to see us?
Validation,
right? But I'll grow. If you see us, you'll become my fan. Shouldn't I be your fan? So I want to see you?
Exactly.
But how do you do that, JD?
By building a personal connection with people through marketing.
That's how you do it?
You want to get people interested in you as a person.
That's how you do it. You get it by getting them interested in you? What's the triangle of life?
Well, it's got
what kind of class
sides.
do you think you could teach based on everything I've taught you?
I'm
other
terrible.
than recording, because I already know you.
Yeah, no, I don't.
You don't record? Why not?
I question
you have the expertise
of
10 years friends for 10 years. They told me stuff, but I can't. Go ahead.
My ability to teach.
What can you write a thesis on? Because you're a really good grammatic writer.
I'm a good editor, so anytime you write something, I can just make sure it's all grammatical and doesn't have any typos, and it has the.
That is a skill. That is a skill into it. So people used to make fun of me as a writer, but we already know that great writers can't spell or have good grammar.
Yeah, because that's not important. That's why you have an editor.
Well, it is important.
No. I mean, for them, that's why you have the editor.
It is not. Anyway.
It's like being able. I've had this. I was actually having this conversation with somebody yesterday. It's the difference between being a good songwriter and being a good musician.
Who the hell did you have that conversation with?
My brother, actually, which is
which
weird.
one? The other one.
Yeah, the other one.
Wait, why were you guys talking about that? And what is it? Good songwriter versus what?
Good songwriter versus a good musician. We were talking.
Oh yeah, they're two different things.
Yeah, because we were talking about Robert Louis Stevenson, whatever, the guy who wrote Treasure Island.
Oh yeah,
and
the
Dr.
writer.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, because we're saying that he's he's got good ideas, but he's a terrible storyteller. So I was like, oh, it's like a musician. You're either like a good songwriter or a good musician. Very rarely do you have someone that's both.
Hello.
Yeah, I said very rarely.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, even in this table. But I think when you're saying a storyteller and a writer, I guess because a storyteller will be oral, so that would be the musician aspect of it. That's what you're trying to compare it to.
the idea behind the story is, oh, that's fantastic, but being able to actually execute and tell it well.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because a storyteller could be good orally.
Giggity.
I think what you're trying to say. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, because a writer would be the craft of
making it sound really good. You can take a really boring story and make it
I think the storyteller would be comparable to the musical writer, and the writer would be comparable to the musician.
I'm gonna agree with you.
I think that's. I'm just trying to understand the.
Yeah, because I'm reading Treasure Island right now, and it's the premise is cool, but like I'm not gonna lie, it's definitely not.
It's not a treasure.
It's not a treasure.
That's it. Huh?
That's it.
You got 16 minutes in, so let's see what else you got.
Woohoo!
See how easy it is?
It's very easy.
Is it?
I mean, it's very easy when you're the one leading, and I react.
Or don't react. It's difficult when you don't react, right?
I mean, it's definitely difficult when I don't react.
What does it feel like? Not that you've experienced it yet today, but
I mean, it's an interesting feeling.
Would you like to describe it?
I mean, I feel slightly empty on the inside.
Oh my god!
Like there's a universe of stars that are slowly going out.
Have you ever stuck anything inside your penis hole?
Not that I remember.
Not even love. It's like just
no.
curled it up, and just
get a turkey baster and shove it in.
All right. Anything else?
Yeah. What do you got?
You're running the show today. What are we talking about?
I don't know. What are we talking about?
Let's see. Well, we have how to be successful in entertainment. Let's talk business, JD. So go ahead.
Well, let's talk business.
Bring up a topic that you're an expert in, and then
well,
I'll tell you my artist brain.
Well, I'm still very much a Padawan here.
That's not true. You have friends that have told you
oh my God.
many things. You don't believe them?
You're the only one that tells me business stuff.
Oh, so my art brain is not worth it. Well, you're a genius when it comes to business, but when your art brain comes into it, I have friends who have been doing it far less than you have.
Listen, I didn't say that at all.
Closer to my generation.
I did not say that at all.
When you watch a movie, you're supposed to watch it with one eye closed and wearing 3D glasses. Why? Because the technology has changed since your black and white talkies.
I mean, you're not that old.
Yeah, but your comment the other day made me feel that old. All right. So, what else?
Why is it you feel that?
Questions. All right, keep going.
Why is it you feel that?
I feel because artists God gave me nerves.
Don't see themselves as a business when they first start out.
Because they have egos.
So you think an ego will dictate? Does this only go for artists? So that
a business brain does not try to succeed to be the best because they know they're going to fail. The first rule of success is understanding that it has nothing to do with you. It's about the people around you. So a good business mind will always think team. How do I build a team? Whereas an artist will go, especially a musician, they're going to say, I need a band because I want to play music. You see the difference?
Yes, it's very selfish.
Yeah. You know, a business usually will say this idea won't work without a team. Instead of going, I need a team to make my idea work. The moment they do that, they are not a business. They're an artist because it's about them. So that's how you identify art brain, business brain. Art brain is always about the thing and the goal of whatever it is you created. That's why I say it's an ego. And a business brain, a business person can be an artist. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but they're able to switch back and forth.
No. What I'm saying is like a business, like someone who's running a business can run that business like an artist.
How so?
And that's why the business won't grow. If you look at a business and it fails, the reason it's failing is because they're like, why are my widget gadgets not selling?
Because you're thinking, oh, this is what's gonna. Yeah. You're thinking of the thing, the product, the store.
That would be an artist brain. So when we talk about artist brain versus business brain, so they can't be conflicted, you know, because the artist brain is going, how do I find the best team for this idea? How do I get the brand out there? How do I do this? Whereas an artist brain is going, I have such a great idea. Look at this widget gadget. I'm going to sell thousands of them because they do a great thing. You know, and even people who make up like those little things where you go to the counter and it's like something stupid, like it like holds a light over a book.
Oh yeah, like the little like knickknacks.
The reason that sells is because it solves an issue for everyone else, not you. And that's why it sells. And then they go, here's an idea to help people read better. So it's not a selfish thing. And that lack of selfishness in the marketing helps you sell the thing. But sales 101 is not about you.
It's about them.
Yeah, it's about them. I'm not trying to get you to buy from me. I'm trying to get you to buy something that you need because and through me, you will trust that I will help you.
Which makes sense.
What
And
else?
it also explains why that artist mentality doesn't go anywhere, because they don't have that same perspective where, like you
Yeah.
pointed out, it's all about them. Come to my show, listen to my music, download my stuff.
Name one successful artist.
I'll say Osborne.
He is not a successful artist.
That was a trick question you gave me. He is a successful business
He's a successful business. Why?
because Sharon ran his life like a business.
More importantly, he did the rules. He started as a singer, moved on to owning a band. Then he took his band and he became a tour, Ozfest. So a
An
little bit
experience.
a little bit more power. That little bit more power. So being a singer, no power in Black Sabbath. He even sang on the left side, right?
Yeah.
In his own band, he had a little bit more power. He didn't have a lot more power, but he had a little bit more power. He could do what he wants. He could sing his own songs, right? He had a good team around him. Then he made Ozfest, which gave him the opportunity to make more money because he owns and controls it. But now he's helping out other bands.
One of the big things.
Wait, I'm not done.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Jesus, okay. And then what did he do? He took his brand to the next level. He then created the Oz show, the Ozzy show,
Osbournes.
the Osbournes. And he created more power and more opportunities. So he expanded. He's a musician, a singer, and he turned himself into a producer. Even though he still made albums, he still went touring, he still did whatever he did, but he still created more power for more opportunity to help others. Then they took that, and they also had that other show where they were like front the band or
it was Battle for Ozfest.
Battle for Ozfest. You know, like that's opening up to the community. So Ozzy, even if it was Sharon's idea, still went along. They owned the business. You know?
Yeah.
So that's a business brain, not an artist brain.
Which makes sense.
So I ask you again.
So then I don't have a
Name
successful
a successful
artist. I can't.
Because it's impossible. The moment you recognize they're an artist and they're successful, they're no longer an artist. They're a business. Because if you look at them being successful with their art, you realize it's not their art that makes them successful.
It's their business brain and their ability to run everything.
All you got to do is look at what somebody's doing and see the process
and
of
look
how they're
the
maintaining
sometimes, because sometimes they especially in entertainment, you only see what people want you to see.
Well, behind the curtain would be look at the process. But one-hit wonders are artist brain. They had a really good song. It worked. Somebody else knew it was a good, catchy song. They marketed, put money into it.
But they marketed the song.
Yeah. But also, they signed a band to a crappy contract where they have the option to keep them, but they know their album's going to fail. So they're like, oh, your album failed, but that was a good song. See you later. But we already made millions on your one hit.
Bye.
See you later.
Doodles.
Now, how do you turn a one-hit wonder into a career? Four Milans. How do you turn a songwriting career into something else? Be a guest on somebody else's album.
Well, isn't what was it? Was Rihanna? I think you said is the person like.
Who the hell's Rihanna?
Where she
got naked. That made a career.
I mean, everyone gets naked from
time to time. Am I allowed to say that, or is it when I get canceled?
Well, my question my question to you is it Rihanna, the person that you had mentioned that?
Or she did get naked, right?
I don't know.
In a majority of her videos.
I mean, I'm assuming she gets naked.
Yeah,
at least
she goes
to shower.
she goes to award shows with like see-through tops and stuff.
And
which is branding, by the way. She's marketing herself as a provocateur.
Ooh, provocateur.
Provocateur. I don't know. Depends.
It's provocative.
Yeah, it is provocative.
There's a P in there.
Provocateur. She's a provocateur.
Yes.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. Anyway, what's your question about Rihanna? She started out as a writer.
Well, didn't she start out doing guest spots on other people's albums, and then
she come in and sing the hook.
Yeah. And then Kesha, I believe, started out as a writer before she became Kesha.
Yeah. And Pink's first real big hit album, with that song when it came out with "I'm Coming Up."
Oh yeah.
Party started. That's Four Milans wrote that.
Really?
Yeah. The lead singer, the guitarist thing goes, "I step outside and I career high."
That's funny. I had no idea.
She wrote the song and says, "This is not good for me." And then she says, "Oh, you'd be good for Pink." And then after that, they started writing albums together, and then Pink's career not only shifted from that kind of hip hop, like Like her first song was like very hip hop. You know, it was like, and she was like, no, I want to be rock. So from that album, she really opened up and explored a much more rock brand.
Which makes sense.
Rock brand.
I'm assuming the rock brand is when the he had the songwriting team work with her. Well, she also, if I'm not mistaken, also writes music with the singer from the band Fun.
Probably, I don't know.
Because that band, I think, is gone. But if I remember correctly, he's working with Pink specifically to write a bunch of her stuff. The singer.
Maybe. Who knows?
That was a fun
I
band.
do know that Pink started out as a threesome, though.
Really?
Yeah, she was in a three girl band, right?
Was it called Pink, or was it like another band? Pink's original band.
First female band.
Oh, Beyonce.
Middle Ground is the name of the band.
Ah.
It was she joined her first band, Middle Ground, but it disbanded upon losing a battle of the bands competition.
Were they signed?
That's not true. It disbanded because she got an opportunity to be signed, and they just wanted her, and they were like, "Your band sucks."
That's funny.
And then her friends said, "Just go do it. Just do what you want to do." Do these people watch Behind the Music, or they just write this stuff?
I'm going to assume they just write stuff because
whatever.
People just assume they know the answers.
She's best known for edgy pop music.
Ooh.
More to her stage name of Pink, and started recording her first solo, "Can't Take Me Home."
I love that people like lost their cahoots when she dyed her hair not pink. People are like, "Oh my god, but that's your name."
Yeah, and she's like, my color of my hair is not who I am, and that's why she did it.
And she's still pink. Who knew?
She still wears like pink skin.
Wait, what?
She's pink.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
She's pink. She's pink.
Oh yeah.
She's pink.
Madonna started off, I'm assuming, just by herself. She wasn't in a.
She was a model.
Oh, but she was not in like a group band. It was just she started off her singing career as Madonna. Is that correct?
Madonna. She I remember correctly. She was like did anything. She was like a model. She did new modeling. She was just like, I just want to be around people. And then somebody was like, "What do you want to do?" And she's like, "Sing
everything."
Songs.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, she's one of the most wealthy entertainers nowadays because she does literally everything, right?
I don't know.
Like she's a producer, she's an actress. You said she was a model originally.
Yeah.
Music.
Like a virgin.
I bet you she's into real estate.
Yes, JD. She definitely has real estate. It's because she owns a home. Wait, what?
Wait, what?
What? She owns a home.
I mean,
Madonna.
Ooh.
Oh, she's Italian.
We're learning here.
She got married.
Ooh.
Oh, and she in 1960s. When the hell was she born?
What?
When the hell's her birthday?
She bit the top.
She was born in 1958.
Really?
She's 62. Oh, that's not too bad.
Madonna is a year younger than my mother.
Yep. In 1978, when I was born, a common occurrence happened. Madonna dropped out of college and relocated to New York City. She said she moved to New York. It was the first time I'd have ever taken a plane, the first time I'd ever gotten a taxi cab. I came here with $35 in my pocket. I always tell people sacrifice.
Oh, God.
It was the bravest thing I ever done. She soon found an apartment in the Alphabet City, which is insane because she only had $35 in her pocket. Neighborhood in the East Village. She had little money while working as a waitress at Dunkin' Donuts. What?
Dunkin' Donuts was around back then?
And with modern dance troupes, taking classes at the dance theater and eventually performing with Pearl Lang Dance Theater. Ooh. She also studied dance under the tutelage. That doesn't matter. Noted one night while returning from a rehearsal, a pair of men held her at knife point and forced her to perform fellatio. She later found the incident to be a taste of my weakness. It showed me that I still could not save myself in spite of all the strong girl show. I could never forget it.
That's insane.
While performing as a... that's pretty crazy. While performing as a background singer and dancer for the French disco artist Patrick Hernandez.
That's her foot in the door.
Madonna became romantically involved with music. Yeah, well, that's how you... She became involved with musician, probably in a band. Okay, together they formed her first rock band, The Breakfast Club, for which Madonna sang and played drums and guitar.
Really?
Yep. She left Breakfast Club and, with her then boyfriend, Stephen Bray, as drummer, formed the band Emmy. The two
Wait,
began
Hemi as in the engine?
EMMY.
Oh, Emmy as in the award.
The two began writing songs together, but Madonna later decided to promote herself as a solo act.
Ooh.
Her music impressed DJ and record producer Mark Cummins, who arranged a meeting between Madonna and Sire Records.
Ooh.
Anyway, so how she got involved, she became a backup singer for some guy. It wasn't about her, it was somebody else. During that time, she became romantically involved with a guitarist that was in that band. They decided to do stuff using their connections.
So relationships.
Yeah, it's all relationships. But she also sacrificed. You see this $35?
It's interesting too that there's a common theme with a lot of success stories.
Maybe.
It's like they
Tell us.
they change their mindset.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day, man.
Oh yeah, happy Valentine's Day. Here's your chalk flavored hearts.
All right, good. Let me give you some. What we got? Go ahead. What were you saying? There's a common theme between
the common
you
theme,
and my pants.
I mean, the theme is that we're both naked.
What?
What? The common theme is
I
that
want to change the subject.
that a lot of success stories begin with like these people are going through what is considered what they have to.
Yeah, mine started the same way.
Funny story.
By knife point.
By knife point. I mean, I could see that happening. Uncle Bill, what are you doing?
You're gonna kill me if I bite off your penis? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna bite off your penis. Good luck.
Whoa.
I win. I don't gotta pay bills. I don't gotta deal with anybody.
I gotta rethink.
But you're gonna be the guy who got a penis bit off by a guy.
Whoa.
You were in control, weren't you? Or were you? Where are you going? Okay. All right, go ahead.
Talking about her dropping out of college.
Yeah, well, that's a common theme. College, high school. Because if you look, it's not that they dropped out of, like, don't drop out of school, kids. What it is if you know what you want to do. Like, I knew I didn't want to do anything that required school.
Like being a doctor.
Yeah, I wasn't going to be a doctor. I wasn't going to be a lawyer. Though at one time or another, I thought about being a lawyer or a psychologist.
I could see you being a really good psychologist.
And a lawyer. I argue the hell out of things.
I know.
I'd be like, Your Honor, you don't understand. My client is a lizardman. What do you mean? He's Jewish and his first name's Lizard. All right.
Case dismissed.
You're good. You're good. Also, here's my album. Please take my CD. It's normally $15, but for you, brother, $5.
Listen, Judge Rock.
Listen.
I just choked on the tea.
I don't even know what I was saying. You know what I'm saying.
You're saying if you knew what you want, you knew what you
wanted.
Oh,
I knew what I wanted, so I didn't have to do school. I was like, I want to be in it. I make a joke, but I honestly lifted something while helping somebody with something, and it was during hard labor. And I was like, I never want to use my body to make money. I was like, I want to use my brain. So I made a conscious decision that I was going to focus on arts. I was going to focus on whatever I could creatively to make money.
I'm assuming this is back when you were like a kid still.
Yeah. I was 12 when I first started working, buddy. Unlike you, I was a man.
Were you born with the beard?
Yeah. There's pictures of me. And like, how old were you? 17? I was like, I was 2.
3 months.
I was 2. You know, my first job, I was 12. And I worked there until I was 16. And during that, I had a second job. You know, I always worked. But I hated working. I hated labor. Not that I love working. I just hate labor.
You hate using your body to work.
Yeah, I don't want to use my body. No one wants that. Some people want it. Some people like it. Some people like being in like 300-degree heat, while working on the roof. They're like, this is the best. I make $40 an hour. This is the life. And other people like, hey, I make $60 an hour doing plumbing. Just because I come home smelling like crap doesn't mean that I don't like this. This is the life I wanted. I'm not. There's no way I would be happy in either one of those situations. I made the money I make sitting down in my home wearing pajamas, writing. Yeah, that's the job.
Eating candy.
Drinking donuts.
It literally.
Somebody calls me up and says, "Can you help me?" I go, "Yeah, do this." And they go, "All right, here's money." Like I have the best career in the world.
And you get to play with the dog all day.
I have a dog.
What kind of dog?
What kind of dog?
When did they get a dog?
All right, what else? Doing good. 35 minutes in.
Woohoo! High five.
Got another hour and a half.
I got this.
You
I got
this,
this. I got
JD? See, it moves smooth. By the way, I make up everything on the fly
Why is there a fly?
because
We have I thought we had those fly strips. At what point did you realize you wanted to stop going to
School? When they gave me 2 days of in-school suspension and then failed me, then sent me to summer school, then kicked me out of summer school for being a Satan worshiper.
Wait, what? You got kicked out for being a Satan worshiper?
Yeah.
How'd that come about?
They said, write a story, anything you want. I wrote a story about a wizard. They said I worshiped the devil, kicked me out. So I destroyed the principal's office. And then my father came in. The principal told my father what happened. My father was like, all right. And they're like, you're not going to reprimand your son? No, he's in the right. Let's go, son. And he's like, what do you want to do? I go, I'm done with school. He goes, okay.
That's insane.
Yeah.
Like, what state was this?
Florida.
Oh, that explains everything.
Dunedin. It literally was the police station was a mobile home on bricks, like the cinder blocks, and there was 2 cars, and you had to cross over like a 1-lane bridge to go into town, or go where the houses were. The house I lived in was beautiful, but I lived directly next to a train.
Were there like a group of like Bible thumping gators that lived underneath said bridge that were like?
No, but everyone was a thief there.
That's insane.
I got most of my Dungeons and Dragons books from this kid. I don't even remember his name, unfortunately, but he was a really nice kid. He was a thief, but he was a nice kid.
It's like, I got all these cool books.
He's like, he had one book, and I was like, oh man, I've been trying to get that book. It was like a book of like all the magic items, And he's like, oh, you want it? And I was like, dude, it's like a $40 book. He's like, nah, just take it. I'll get one tomorrow. I was like, no, I'm not gonna take it. He's like, no, I'm just gonna get it tomorrow. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I just take the books. I was like, yeah, okay. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, what books do you want? And I was like, as a joke, I brought in like a paper worth of books that I wanted. And literally the next day,
he had
them in a backpack. And he's like, here you go. And I was like, all right, let me pay you for this. He's like, nah, man, you're like one of the coolest people I know. I'm not charging you. And I was like, all right, you want to play Dungeons and Dragons? And he's like, yeah, I do. That's why I've been stealing them. I was like, let's play.
Oh, God.
I don't condone theft, but I will not stop it if it happens.
Especially if someone's doing it to, feed themselves.
Oh, no, I don't think feeding yourself is theft. That's survival. Survival actually outweighs the law. If you try to kill me, I can defend myself to the equal extent. If you're not trying to kill me and I kill you, I believe I'll get in trouble.
It depends on what state you're in, because that's like a,
yeah, that's a kind of, but I believe as long as you're trying to kill me, I can kill you and I won't get in trouble.
Correct. There are, I think in New York, the law is that if there is like good reason for you to believe that person will not stop until you are dead, and you're able to, if you're able to like stop them, but you feel like they're going to keep coming, you have the right to defend yourself legally, I believe.
Yeah. But again, survival to me is not the law. Like that's above the law. Like I don't think like if somebody's dying because they're freezing in the streets and they steal a jacket and you have them arrested, I think you're a scumbag. Especially if they steal from a store, like you could write that off.
Like a Kmart.
Especially a Kmart
or a Walmart.
Like go after yourself.
Because Kmart's pretty much gone. Walmart at this point.
I think if you steal from like a house, you're really, your morals are missing. But as the person who owns the house, you'd be like,
you need this.
Yeah, I'm in the house. I am warm in this house. Take the coat. But again, people own things in their mind, and and then when they die, they worry about it in the afterlife. They go, oh, did I leave the oven on? But I tell people, not all the time, but sometimes, like I lived in Mastic and my car was broken into twice, and I leave my doors open. I would just be like, whatever.
Did you just leave a note saying it's unlocked?
No, I just left it open. I leave them open because like I don't care. And then each time I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. Like I not 1 ounce like I didn't care. I just moved. I was like, well, clearly I'm in the wrong neighborhood because I want to be able to leave my door open without worrying about it. So I moved. But can't blame the person who steals.
They're doing their thing.
That's who they are. I mean, if they came in the house and like threatened me, like I would have literally drowned them. But But I would have let them live, but I would have drowned them until they were like, their brain wasn't working correctly anymore.
You would have given them a swirl, is what you're saying?
Yeah. I would,
without flushing.
Yeah, they would just be like, and then they were like, I don't know why. What?
And
this
somehow
air tastes like bubbles.
And that they, for some reason, they sound like Foghorn Leghorn.
Foghorn. I'll tell you. You got to keep your eye on the ball.
You get eyeball. So that's a joke. Line up, son.
Got anything else? That's it. All right, that's it.
Do you feel
all the time
that? Do you feel that there are people who are working within the entertainment industry who are successful that purposely take advantage of people who are naive?
Let me put this on me for this one. Yes. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, go ahead.
What's your favorite color?
Oh, wait. Let's get a close up. Purple. Okay. What else?
How do you feel that they
through my nervous system?
I mean, that makes sense. Yeah. Except for, when, the nerves get cut off.
Yeah.
Accidentally.
Like my toes. Have I showed you this? Look at my balls. All right, what's your question?
How do you feel that they take advantage of people who are naive? Do you think it's more of like...
Wait, how or why?
Let's do both, but we'll start with how.
I don't know how. There's too many variables.
Oh. All right, so then why?
Greed. What else? I can't tell you how. It's too many variables. I could say how I do things, but again, I don't.
But you don't take advantage of people.
Yeah, I mean, I take advantage of that, but but honestly, like, that's why you're supposed to know the business at least enough to understand it. You don't have to be an expert in it, but if you have an accountant, you don't know how accounting works. That's how people go. My accountant took advantage of me. Weren't you looking at the papers?
You should have at least an idea to be like, oh, what's going on here?
Yeah, just because you trust someone doesn't mean that you can't check over their work. That doesn't mean you don't trust them. Well, and if they get mad at that, you fire them.
Yeah, well, that's just being, a good business owner. It's
like let me see your phone.
If I bring it over here, it's going to get all like...
He doesn't trust me, and that's why I got to fire him. This is his last show.
Wait, what? Brings it over. Oh, my God.
Look at these titties. Why is it like 700 men with big fat titties?
That is awkward.
I don't like female titties. I just like fat men titties.
Listen, you got to have the hairy nipples.
Women have hairy nipples too. You know that, right?
Not as hairy as men nipples.
It's because they shave them.
Yeah, but not as hairy as men nipples.
Yeah, you don't get to see them when they're hairy.
Beep, boop.
That means women shave before you get to see them. You've never lived with a woman, right?
No.
Yeah, that's why you don't know. You're still a child, it feels like. I forget that you're so young that you still are vanilla. Even if you're like, I choked a bitch. And I'm like, of course.
Like, please.
Yeah, sure you did. No, I did. I was like, does that hurt? You okay, babe? Do you like that, babe? Look me in the eye. What? Oh, I was squishing the esophagus. My bad. This is my first time. I just you want cookies?
Oh man, I love cookies.
I love milk and cookies. I like milk and cookies. Anything else? It's good. 44 minutes. It doesn't even feel like it.
It doesn't. This is great.
Okay. This is the longest 45-minute show I've ever been on.
I'm glad.
What else? Oh, let me ask you something. Do you think that the Black Lives Matter movement is getting a little difficult?
How so? What do you mean?
Well, like that. There's this band called Lady A.
Oh,
and there's this other woman. I think one of those people should be taken out and have their feet shot off. What do you think?
Like, are you talking about the person,
yeah,
the original Lady A?
Yeah, well, it's
or are you
racist.
talking about one of the members from the band to get their feet shot off?
The thing is, what's the name of the band originally?
Originally, it was Lady Antebellum.
Yeah. Now, Antebellum, which means before the war, right?
I believe that's what it was. I don't. We can look it up.
I don't.
But
it's exactly.
They were saying that Lady Antebellum, that it's racist
because it's before the Civil War. So obviously, we have to cancel that band, right? But they tricked us and they named themselves Lady A. But there happens to be a woman that is not white, who is also a female,
who's going by.
She used it as a nickname, Lady A. So now we got to kill the other people. Who do we cancel?
I mean, we should at least flog everybody for
No,
arguing
no, you
about this.
can, one of them you can't flog.
Mm.
You racist.
We can slap them all
What
on
do
the
you
wrist.
think in that situation? If your band was named Lady Antebellum, and someone's like, "That's racist," would you be like, "You didn't go to school"? And they'd be like, "The history of the history of every word we use has come from somewhere racist, comes somewhere where there was slavery. The dramatic language itself, which takes up the majority of English, was a slave-driven, community. So does that
Yeah.
mean we can't use words like hello, which
I
means
mean-
God be with you, which, by the way, the church had slaves. And of course, we can't say anything that's from Egypt because they had slaves, though the myth is that maybe they didn't have Egyptian slaves. I mean, Jewish slaves. However, the Jewish community had slaves as well.
Yeah,
Slavery was a back in the day was a form of like existence. So I mean, even in India,
Romans?
don't you have the untouchables still? Like
I don't know.
you're born. Yeah, I think you're born as an untouchable. You have to drive on the top of the bus, drive on top of the train. Like I'm not saying it obviously morally. All of that is crazy. Everybody should.
Everyone is people. We're all equal. You're judged on whether or not you're a good person. But yeah, I'm definitely a robot.
Everyone deserves it. But what are your thoughts on the Lady A? Do you think the band should be flogged?
I don't think anyone should actually be flogged. I don't know the actual definition of the word antebellum or its original.
I just told you.
But
it's Latin.
It is Latin. It literally, antebellum literally just means before the war. I mean, that doesn't
before war.
Well, it doesn't sound like it's particularly racist.
No, it's because it's before the war. It was used primarily during the Civil War. There is a movie called Antebellum, which means we have to get rid of that movie. And it actually takes place during the Civil War, and it's a horror film. Why is this a thing?
I don't know. Why have I not seen this?
I don't know.
But it seems like it's a reference to a period of time
before a war.
So I don't see how that's inherently racist. It's like saying mourning is racist.
It's because it's widely associated with the pre-Civil War period in the United States. That's why it's racist. So, I think that's insane. It's a word.
So if we say Revolutionary War, is that racist?
Well,
because that's pre the Civil War.
Well, you can't use the flag anymore.
The Confederate flag.
Confederate flag.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a flag. I understand the meaning of it and like why not using it is.
Yeah, it's Latin. Antebellum.
Like I totally understand why you would not want to use the flag and why we shouldn't use the flag, but it's a flag.
I don't think like in movies when they use like Nazi paraphernalia, should they not do that?
I mean,
because one of the best movies in the last couple of years was something Rabbit. What was it called?
Oh, Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit.
The movie's genius.
And the movie's about the Nazis. And they make the Nazis you can sympathize with the Nazis, as people, not as
like a belief system.
Yeah, not as a movement, but as people, like individuals being.
They make the whole situation lighthearted.
Sure, especially when they start killing everybody at the end of the movie. Spoiler alert. No, I think intention is the thing that should be regulated, but not. I don't think it should be punished. I think action should be punished, but I don't think action and intent.
Well, intent is a big part of everything. It's like you can.
But if my intent is to build a community of haters, I'm doing something wrong.
Correct.
But if my intent is that I just don't like people, or I don't like let's say I don't like you because you have a beard, like that's my prerogative. Leave me alone. As long as I'm not trying to convince other people that people with beards are bad. And I'm creating a group.
Hatred.
Yeah, a hate group. I can hate you all I want, and I shouldn't be persecuted for that. But the moment you start trying to persecute an entire group using another group, now
that's wrong.
Yeah, because your intent is,
is to spread that hate. Is to potentially do something even more, which is.
Yeah, I think people should be allowed to do whatever they want as long as they don't break the
you don't hurt anybody.
Yeah, don't hurt people physically, and don't create the intent for hurting people. Like the KKK, the reason they're so terrible is not because they hate black people. It's because they lynch black people and they kill black people and they get people to get large groups together to make sure black people can't do things like have jobs. And like that to me is a movement of hate that needs to be stopped. But if there was, Joe Roberts is like, black people suck. Well, everyone leave him alone. Like, just let him have fun in his house. If he hates, you don't like me because I'm black, don't come over here. Like, I'm not gonna stop coming here. If you don't like me here, you don't have to come here. But if you come here,
that's your problem.
As long as you don't hit me or start a riot or try to, do anything physical to me, I'm not gonna bother you. Like if I know you hate me and we're in the same room, I have two choices. I could either leave or I could stay. However, if I stay, you have choices. Are you going to act on your hate or not act on your hate? If you start becoming violent towards me, and violence could also be like threatening words and stuff like that. If you're like, if you don't leave, I'm going to kill you. I'm going to kick you out. Now you're being violent. And now it's like, well, now I got to call the cops. Hello, cops. Yeah, I'm being yelled at. I would like to file harassment. I would like to get a order of protection.
Yeah,
not that it's that easy, but
I 100% agree with you. And I think one of the things that we're dealing with now is that a lot of things are coming to a head because everything's kind of been building up for way too long. And I think some things are being scrutinized that shouldn't be scrutinized. I think like Lady Antebellum having to change their name.
Yeah, that was weird. The Gina thing though, like I understand the Gina thing.
Gina thing?
Gina Carano, whatever her name is. The girl who got fired from Mandalorian.
Oh yeah.
Even let's say she didn't say any of that stuff. I mean, Disney has the right to fire you.
They have a very, very strict brand that they uphold. And
well, let's ignore the brand. They're the company. You're the employee. You have your rights. There's certain rights you have, but
like they can't discriminate you.
Yeah, they can't discriminate.
Against you.
Sorry. They can't just be like you're fired because you're a girl. Like they have to fire you because your work ethic is bad or you're not performing. They can fire you for that. But also, if I hire you and you go home, I'm not saying this is what she is, but as an example, if I hire you and you go home and you kill somebody, and I fire you, I'm not the a-hole. But again,
you killed somebody.
If I'm out getting coffee. And I see you, and you start yelling at somebody because they have a Trump hat on, or they don't, or you're the one with the Trump hat, and you're yelling at someone. I don't want you to work for me. I don't need that. I don't need that kind of energy in my work environment, and I have the right as an employee to fire you.
Yeah, because you want to make sure that the people that you're working with, the people that you hire, are respectful. And
yeah. However, with the lady Antebellum. I have a right as an audience member not to buy their stuff, but I shouldn't have the right to have them change their name. If they want to keep the name and their sales go down,
that's them.
Have fun. You have the right to not buy things. You have the right to not support things, but to force people to not
because forcing people to do something is
insane.
Yeah,
it's insane.
That's
insane.
Is pretty much the same thing as
but also. Like, I don't think, again, a company has the right to fire you. So, obviously, if you're spouting racism, like, Roseanne Barr did, yeah, they have the right to fire her. I don't think she should be fired if, let's say, thousands of people contact the studio and say, hey, fire Roseanne Barr. I don't like the way she talks. But however, they all have the right not to watch the show. So what happens if you don't watch the show? The show gets canceled.
Yeah.
That's the way we should be boycotting bullcrap. If you don't like something, do not support it. That's as long as you're not physically being hurt, don't support it. Right? that should be the reality of not necessarily cancel. I don't think it's cancel. I think it's putting people. You're making people. You're responsible for their actions.
Yeah, and you're sticking to your your beliefs and like what you feel is right.
Yeah.
Before we move forward, I actually have a
What?
question with you.
Okay, what
Speaking of doing stuff like that, has there ever been
What?
any instance where like a celebrity, a peer, a band, someone that you used to appreciate in the arts, that has done something that doesn't coincide with your beliefs and your morals?
Yeah,
that
Jesus.
He was your pal.
Tell me he wasn't.
I can't.
I win. Next.
Has there been anyone like that, or any instance like that where
Yeah, well, of course.
you've stopped supporting an artist, an actor, or
Bill
performer?
Cosby.
Oh,
But the thing is, like, I don't go out of my way to watch Bill Cosby stuff, buy stuff, or celebrate his work. However, I can acknowledge that he was a genius comedian and writer. But I have made the choice, just like I'm not like, you know what I should be watching today? The Cosby Show. However, if you do watch The Cosby Show, everybody on that show will get residuals, including Bill Cosby. He's going to die soon. But the people that were not rapists,
who are good people,
who are good, some
will
of them
also
are,
get.
some of them are, but they will get residuals, But that's how he was physically interrupting people's lives by being a terrible, terrible, terrible human being. Like he was wrong. And he's going to jail, or I think he went to jail, or something happened. He got in trouble for it. He went to court. He's forever a terrible human being. You can't take it back. He's never going to work in the industry again. I don't think that's cancel culture. I think that's you're
holding someone accountable for their actions.
The accountable culture, right? Yeah, the accountable culture. However, let's say somebody comes out and says Bill Cosby is a rapist, right? But there's no trial, there's no evidence, just one person says he's a rapist. If I hear that information, and let's say I believe it, right? Let's just say I'm just taking the word of somebody and I believe it. I have the right to not watch it anymore. I even have the right to say, I don't think you should watch that show either. I even have the right to say you should fire him, but he shouldn't be fired because we want him fired. He should be fired because A, there obviously was evidence, but there should be evidence, and B, is he really, is he disrupting the company? But again, just stop watching the show. Don't ask him to be fired. Fire him by not supporting him. Because if you don't support him, then he can't do other things. If you fire him, you're destroying everybody else attached to that name. So, like the Cosby Show, now people can't enjoy the Cosby Show and those wonderful performances from people that
are not Bill Cosby.
That are not Bill Cosby. Do I, and it sucks because Bill Cosby also did so much for the community, just in general, but he's a terrible human being. That's the crazy part about it. He's a terrible human being. It's like Michael Jackson. Like I was a huge fan of Michael Jackson. The first time it came out that he was a child molester, I was like, somebody's trying to get money. But by like the fifth time, I was like, this mother, he's a child molester. So do I like Michael Jackson's music? Yeah, but again, I don't find myself going to listen to Michael Jackson. If it comes on,
you'll listen to it.
I'll listen to it,
especially if it's Billie Jean.
But again, I can identify that he's one of the most talented musicians and performers ever to exist. But he's a terrible human being. So now I'm making the choice not to support him. Not that he's obviously dead, but and I think that's where our society might be misinterpreting the freedom of speech. We have the freedom to not want to do something, but again, without pure evidence. Like there's this new thing with David Letterman. Did you see the David Letterman thing?
Which thing?
He's like 10 years ago, 20 years ago, whatever, 15 years ago. He was like belittling Lindsay Lohan. The video is cut up where he's belittling her, but if you watch the whole clip, not only does he belittle her, but then he's being supportive. He goes, the reason we're not making jokes about it, it's just, we want you, we're rooting for you. We want to see you do well. Plus, David Letterman's a recovering alcoholic or something like that.
So you're saying the original context of the interview is that he was talking with her and he was trying to relate.
No, he was making jokes at her expense, which was a douche part. But then on top of it, he was also being compassionate.
Gotcha.
But people saying, he's misogynistic and he should be fired. And it's like, he got $500 million. You can't fire him. Just don't support anything he does. But it's also 15 years ago, and not that it should be excused. The same goes with like, there's like an interview where he's trying to kiss Jennifer Aniston, and she's like, hey. So then he just like puts her hair in his mouth, and he's like, and it's just a very weird and awkward moment. But again,
to put it mildly,
the easiest way to destroy something like that,
you just don't support them.
Don't support it. But to say that they should be fired, because if you demand they get fired, I think for me,
there's always
taking away your responsibility. You know what I'm saying? Like, you as an individual don't have the value to dictate what other people do. You have the value, like behaviorally. I don't have the ability to stop you from being you until you physically start interrupting my life. Now I have the right to do something. But if you start talking poorly around me and I'm like, you need to be fired, and I go to your job, he said words I don't like. What did he say? He said Penelope. That word triggers me.
The worst of all swear words.
But it could be whatever,
being a real Penelope right now.
It can be a real Penelope. I think the real power is just not supporting it. I think there's more power to that.
To collectively not support something.
Than demand they be fired, because in that situation, you're taking somebody that has celebrity and there's something else going on. I think there's a bias, like I'm not a celebrity, you are. You need to be held accountable.
I think
under a microscope.
I think one of the things you're trying to say with this is that when you demand someone is fired, you're putting the responsibility on someone else. Whereas if you're saying that collectively, if we were to stop supporting, said person, we take the responsibility for, taking our actions to say, hey, we as a society do not support this course of action.
Well, yeah, but what I'm also saying is people think their value is more valuable than it is. If I see you say something, and I go to your boss and I go, you got to fire him, go away, right? But then I'm like, why didn't you fire him? Then I'm going to say, the owner believes in his actions. We got to stop supporting this company. This company should be fired. Why? Well, because I don't like what JD did, and his boss clearly supports it because I told his boss to fire him, and he wouldn't fire him because JD is a good worker and he's respectable. But he said Penelope, and he should be fired. Now, obviously, it could be you saying something even worse than that. But the point is, I should just not support you. And if you're working for a company, maybe I don't support that company. But to start throwing the blame on like a chain, and that's really probably why Disney fired Gina, because it was getting outrageous where, they were like, well, we don't want to be attached to this, so let's just cut ties. But the other thing is, like, a couple other people had said something. James Gunn got fired and then he got hired back, because he made like jokes against
Nick
rape
Cannon too, right?
No, Nick Cannon for Disney. I don't know.
That wasn't Disney. It was.
Did he get hired back?
Yeah. What was it? What was the show he hosts?
I don't pay attention to Nick Cannon. He's just Penelope too much. My whole feelings on that is like, especially, if I ever got to the point where I was extremely successful and people were like, I don't like what he's saying, I'd be like, just don't buy my stuff. And if they're like, well, fire, I own the company. That's the other reason you want power. You can't fire me. I own the company. Well, we're not going to support your company.
Okay.
Have fun.
Like Joe Rogan.
Yeah, you can't mess with Joe Rogan.
Like, there were a couple people, there were a couple instances where people were like, cancel Joe Rogan, and they didn't realize that Joe Rogan literally owns
he owns
himself.
He owns that show, and he's well off. So you can't cancel it. Just like you cannot cancel David Letterman. Even at this point, you can't cancel him, but you cannot support him. And that's, to me, even though, again, it's just my opinion, I think that is morally right. I cannot support you, and that's my right. But to demand that my feelings have been disrupted and my emotional state of mind has been disturbed by somebody's words or actions without it being physical, that you need to do something about that because I don't want to deal with it anymore. And I have no, it's like saying games cause you to kill.
Yeah, no.
Don't play the game then. If you think your child or you are incapable of controlling your impulses, you stop playing the game. But the game should exist. The game should exist 100%. And also like ratings, like I think our country's the only one that rates movies, right? I don't think in Europe they rate movies because like this television has nudity.
I think there is a rating system.
Is there a rating system?
But I think it's
is there a film rating?
I think it's a lot more lenient in other countries.
Europe.
I think they have it like, oh, this is like this
for many European movie ratings agencies, including the British Board of Film Classification, scenes that depict sex are deemed more acceptable for adolescents. European attitudes hold that the sexual exploration is a normal part of growing up, and that kids should be allowed to see it on screen. Agreed. There are no classifications
at all.
Oh wait, maybe.
Was that?
Let's see. Yeah, this is, let's see. No, there's just broadcast. National Film Center.
All right, never mind then.
But anyway, I mean, I could be just not finding it, you know. But as far as I'm you know, a kid can't hear like PG-13. You're allowed to say the F word once.
Once. You get one per movie.
You get one, and that's insane because it's just a word. It's just a word. You know, are there words that obviously shouldn't be used? Yes,
this comes back to your argument about intent. Where you can, intent, yeah. You know, as long as you're not, you know, you're not saying things to be, you know, cruel. Like you and I swear at each other daily.
Yeah, but I hate you, so it's okay. Like, I'm just kidding. I'm
such a Penelope.
Give me my water.
No, but I agree. Like you can say whatever you want, but it comes down to intent to feel. You and I, you know, joke around with each other all the time, and it could be quite colorful. But like you and I know that it's just joking around, and like we're not doing it to like cause.
Yeah, but lately you don't joke around back. You just end it with the yeps.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, he's boring again. You remind me of someone else I know sometimes.
Yeah,
it's very annoying. Yeah, maybe.
Definitely.
You don't understand. The secret to life is is finding yourself saying yes and, because the moment the topic, words, or subject, or even context has control of you, you lost, because you are no longer in control of what's known as the master. So in like Buddhism and like
we're getting philosophizing right now.
So like let's say this isn't just Buddhism, but the idea is, let's say I'm mad at you, right? And I change my behavior. The master won. And the master is like the idea that, you know, things control you. And you should never let things control you. So if I'm angry at you, I shouldn't change my behavior. I shouldn't be like, and every time I see you, right? And I give you this attitude. I'm not being true to myself. I'm choosing to be different to you because you angered me. So therefore, the master is in control. Or in this situation, you're in control. Like anytime somebody tells me I make them upset or uncomfortable, I go, that's not true. I didn't do anything. You are uncomfortable at what it is I am doing, but I am not the one making you uncomfortable. Meaning I didn't choose to make you uncomfortable. Meaning I did not have the intent to make you uncomfortable.
And you also physically did not telepathically change their emotional state of being.
Yeah, but this is psychology 101. You know, you're supposed to take responsibility. So like I statements. So if you made me uncomfortable in my mind, I wouldn't say you're making me uncomfortable. I'd say I feel uncomfortable when you do blank, blank, blank. Or I'm uncomfortable around you. Well, why? Well, I get uncomfortable with A, B, and C. But it's not that you're making, you know what I'm saying? And
you're saying that it is at the sole, it's the sole responsibility of the person feeling those emotions
to take responsibility.
Of those emotions.
I think it's, again, this is why I think this is really great comedian. It says, you know, he talks about like, you know, you're offended. Oh, you're offended? Be offended. Nothing happens when you're offended. You know?
Isn't it Bill Burr?
No, it's not Bill Burr. It's an English comedian. Let me see.
yeah.
Offended joke.
I think I know which
comedian.
joke you're talking about, though.
It's like, oh, here. I was offended. Steve Hughes. Hughes.
Hughes?
Hughes?
How do you spell it?
Hughes? I don't know.
Steve Hugs.
Hugs? Hughes. You were offended. All right. Let's see.
Oh,
I don't know if let me share.
I
my
love
screen.
TurboTax.
Wait.
Here we go.
I'm gonna get it on there. Let's see.
Let's watch this. Let's see what we got.
Which one says YouTube? I can't see it. This one?
Yeah.
Okay, sure. Let's do this. All right, here we go.
He looks like us. He's a metal guy.
Can you hear this? Yeah, I think it's on there.
Ooh. Accurate.
Very funny. I had leprosy.
Funny story.
I was offended. Mm-hmm.
I like this guy.
He's funny. This is old though. Delete this time.
And it's definitely a very oh no.
Oh,
What's going on here?
I don't know.
Oh.
They can't hear that when it's taken off. But
Yeah, no, that he has some very, very good points that share your perspective.
yeah, I mean, again, we are in control of our behavior, but you know, I don't think we should. I don't think we should be in control of people's behavior unless it breaks the cardinal rule, which is do not physically disrupt my life. If you are physically disrupting my life, you are breaking rules.
I have a question.
What?
You're very particular in saying physically disrupting someone's life. Would you
Yeah.
consider someone who is intentionally being emotionally abusive to be in that same vein of being,
As somebody who has been in several emotional abusive relationships, and who went to therapy, again, what they're doing is irrational behavior, but it's my responsibility to be aware of that and ultimately stop it. And how do you stop it? Leave, right?
what about in the instance of, say, a child who has an emotionally abusive parent, a child who wouldn't necessarily know better from a young age? What about in that instance?
I mean, the parents are wrong for their behavior, but they are also the guardians, and then now we're getting into something that's a little bit, that becomes the argument of what's right for a child, what's not right for a child. You don't teach your kid Christianity. You're a bad parent. Now what is that? Now if there's the age-old argument, don't tell me how to raise my child, right? In that situation, though, there are safeguards. Obviously, if a teacher is seeing like physical abuse and bruises, they're going to call CPA, and CPS, and I'm seeing bruises. Okay, but just send me your taxes. Just send me your statement, your bank statement.
Oh man.
But they'll if they see a child's emotional truth being disrupted, they will call the CPS. They're supposed to. I mean, teachers are supposed to be looking out for the kids. Not all teachers do that, but and in that situation, is it bad that the kid gets taken away from the parents? Now that's a whole other argument. I honestly, if it comes down, this is the issue though. Like, and I think, and I'm not a Republican or a Democrat, but Republicans care more about you when you're in the womb than when you're out of the womb. Before you're born, they don't want you to be aborted. They care about, certain medical things. They don't care about you getting born. Like, they don't want to stop pregnancy. They want pregnancy to happen. But then they don't want you to kill the baby or get rid of the baby, right? But then once you're born, they don't care about you, right? However, as a child, there's like these weird responsibilities that, like, do we take the kid away? Do we not take the kid away? And in my opinion, like, if I'm a bad father, take the kid. Like, protect the kid. Like, it would be better off with somebody else who's good to the kid
than say someone who is emotionally and or physically abusive.
Yeah, if I'm a terrible father, take the kid. I made the mistake. I'm a horrible parent. Until I figure out how to be a good parent. Well, you can't do that if you take the kid away. Yeah, no, I go to therapy.
You learn.
I
educate yourself.
I educate myself. If I care enough about that kid, I'm going to fight to get the kid back and prove that I'm worth taking care of the kid. And but we're talking about adults right now, and
you're saying as an adult, though, ultimately it comes down to each individual person's responsibility not to be in.
Well, think about this. If a kid runs up to you and goes, "Hey, you're a shithead," you're going to be like, "Oh, that's cute." But if a guy came up and said, "Hey, you're a shithead," you're going to get mad at him. Why?
Because the assumption is that the adult should know better.
It's intent. The kid most likely has no idea the value of what they're saying.
They're just saying it because they're like, "Oh, I learned this new funny word."
Adults say it. I'm going to say it. I want to be an adult. Whereas, again, there's variables to that. But an adult who is controlling their words, again, comes down to intent, though. Because, again, you and I, we can do, "Oh, you're being an asshole today." And you'd be like, "You're being a shit." And we're not going to have a fist fight. Right? But if I'm a total stranger, you don't know what my intent is, and I could still be joking with you. And that's, again, comes down to relationship. How many points do we have? How many points have I earned where I can call you ridiculous names and vice versa, right? However, again, remember, if I call you a crazy name and you call me a crazy name, we just spent 2 points. Because it's a point for my behavior and a point for your behavior. So whatever points we have accumulated, that's still being used. So after a while, it's like, every time I see this person, calls me retarded,
Well, as long as it's not Penelope, we're good.
Oh, Jesus, with that word. All right. 1 point. So again, if a stranger is just, saying Penelope this, Penelope that, we don't know their intent, and I told you a story one time. I was out at dinner and I was telling a joke and I used the word retard, and this woman who was with us freaked out on me and pulled a knife on me. She grabbed the steak knife off the table. She goes, "I should stab you because my child is learning disabled, learning, whatever." And I go, "Okay, why are you going to stab me?" "Because you use the R word and it's insensitive." And I go, "First of all, it's not insensitive to use the R word. It's insensitive to call somebody the R word as you're using it, but more or less to believe that they are. And even if they were, if I'm using it in the terminology of science, which I know they have changed it, but it's as long as I don't mean it as in less than valued."
You're not saying it to be derogatory.
Yeah. And in fact, I am a musician To retard means to slow down, right? And so she's like, I don't care. You don't use that word around me. You're lucky you're friends with so and so, because we were at the table again.
Mm-hmm.
And I turned up and I leaned in and I says, I feel like I should actually kill you. And she's like, why? I was like, well, my aunt killed herself by cutting her arms open with a steak knife. And now that you have the steak knife, I have the trauma response that I am now thinking about my aunt who did indeed kill herself. But I thought my adult impulse to not react to that, because you have no knowledge of my connection to it, should be efficient enough for me to be a decent human person. But because I realize I am the broken person because I was holding it in, and the proper behavior is to actually react irresponsibly and irrationally. So now I need you to know that once we get outside, I'm literally going to punch you in the face twice, because she cut her left arm and her right arm. And she got offended at that. But she also calmed down. She was like, I didn't think about it that way. I go, of course you didn't, because you're retarded.
I really wish.
I did say that.
All right. You're my hero.
I did. Of course I said it, because it was insane. First of all, if she just said with her finger, hey, my kid is, learning, please don't use that word around me. All right, sorry, my bad.
But she literally threatened you with
put
a knife
in my face. I actually said, and I was like, you don't even understand. And my friend who was there, well, he's not my friend anymore. I don't like him. But the friend at the time was like, Thomas will punch you in the face. Because you're threatening him.
With a knife.
Yeah, with a knife. And he's physically capable of doing it. In fact, he could probably take the knife, bunk you with the back end of it, and then laugh at you, pee on you, then punch you in the face twice.
Before you blinked.
Nope. But again, it's insane. The human evolution is a little wicked to me. I think we're taking away the freedom of existence and implementing our desired results.
I think a big issue that we have with that is the fact that we have evolved to a point where we are extremely self-aware, but we still have all these primitive tendencies that tend to govern our reactions that we sometimes ignore.
Maybe.
Like a lot of, we have our emotions, and our emotions tend to just be natural reactions to stimuli. Whereas we have the evolutionary characteristic of being self-aware, so we can recognize, oh, I'm feeling this way, and then we can analyze and say, oh, this is why I'm feeling that way. And we have the choice, we have the ability to go, you know what, I'm not going to act on this impulse. But I think a lot of that isn't exactly, we're not taught that right off the bat, and it's kind of something that people just learn on their own as they go. And I think that hinders some of.
I think it just comes down to responsibility. If we don't take responsibility, the issue.
Well, yeah, no, I agree with that.
The issue is that we want other people to be responsible for protecting us. I don't like the way you talk, so I want your boss to fire you.
Now you can't leave.
But in that situation, that's the reality of it. I need someone else to protect me because I can't protect myself, and I want to make sure that you can't say something that's going to upset me again. And that, to me, is not taking responsibility. If I don't like what you're saying, I shut off the television. I turn off the radio. I
don't
stop
buy
watching
your
the
music.
movie. I don't read your books. I don't whatever. But the moment that I need someone else to handle you, or even try to get you handled because I can't handle hearing you, that is insane. I do not believe. But again, if somebody's doing Nazi rhetoric, right, or comparing the Republicans to the Nazis, again, if I don't agree with that, I am not going to support you. But if I'm your boss and I hear you comparing Nazis versus the, Republicans are being treated like the Nazis treated the Jews, or whatever the statement was, whatever that statement was, I have the right to fire you if I don't like that rhetoric. Because I don't want you in my work environment.
Which makes sense.
Right? But again, if you have that rhetoric, I'm not going to come to your house. But if I'm there and I go, I don't like the way you sound, you have the right to kick me out of your house because it's your home.
Which makes sense.
And that's where I think society is getting a little weird. The other day I almost deleted all my social media to start over because I know over the time I've been on social media, like I was going to find every social media site I've ever been on and just like delete
everything,
because I know I have said some crazy things. I don't think any of it is bad because I know that I've never said anything with bad intent.
Anything you said has always been either
jestful
or philosophical, but like anything that could have been deemed offensive, quote unquote, is done with,
But here's
sarcasm.
An example. I had a friend who I met through the music, whatever. And anyway, I became friends with her sisters, and her family. So I know her, right? She's probably like 18 or something at the time when this comment was written. But I'm obviously much older than her.
Okay.
But she was 18. It doesn't even matter because the comment was a joke. So she's talking to her uncle, right? And I said something about like, because her uncle's like sort of like her father figure.
All right, gotcha.
And people are flirting with her, and I go, "Do you think if I say whatever the flirting was, I go, can I get the permission to marry her?" But it's a joke.
Making fun of everyone that was flirting with her.
Making fun of everyone that's flirting. I had a girlfriend who asked me, "Am I in love with her?" And I said, "No, she's my friend." And then she went and showed me that she had searched and found this thing that was years old.
What?
So she wasn't even 18 anymore either. She was much older. This was like 5 or 6 years after that. And it was like on MySpace. And she's like, "I found this. You wanted to marry her." And I was like, I didn't want to marry her. I don't even want
that
to.
Is insane behavior.
And
you don't even believe in marriage.
I don't believe in marriage. I'm very vocal about how I do not believe in marriage. And obviously, if I mention it, it's a joke.
Yeah.
Right. But again, imagine I'm on a TV show. I'm doing my TV show, and then someone's like, he was like, I don't know what it was, probably like, I think I'm 8 years older than her or whatever, maybe 10 years older. And so I'd have been like 28. She was 8. So, they'll be like, "Oh, he said that crazy thing to an 18-year-old when he, Then I have to go on a show and be like, "Look, I apologize if I made her feel uncomfortable, but we definitely laughed about it extensively with her family because I don't believe in marriage." And to me, I don't think we should make excuses for our behavior or defend our behavior. If someone was like, "I can't believe you wrote that," I'd be like,
"Okay,
all right. Well, you should be fired." I think you should be fired. Why? Well, because your energy is very aggressive. Yeah, and you're judgmental. You're very you think you're the boss.
Whatever job
I am the boss. How are you the boss? Because I'm the audience. All right, don't buy my stuff. I won't. Okay. See you tomorrow. What? I'm not coming in tomorrow. Oh yeah, that's right. Like there are many people I don't agree with. I mean, many. Like I would say close to 100% of the population that I don't agree with. But I just don't support it. I just,
Yeah, you stick to your morals, but you don't force your morals upon anyone else.
Yeah, no, that's insane. It's like if you're a Christian and you're like, you should be a Christian, I think you're wrong in that instance. But if you're a Christian and you're doing Christian things, like by that I mean like living by the code of Christianity as a human being, but not throwing it on others. And I see that behavior and I go, "Oh, I like that behavior." And I go, "What do you do? What makes you live like that?" "I'm a Christian."
And you're like, "Oh,
these are the rules." Now, all right, tell me about it.
Yeah, you're having a conversation.
Yeah.
Or you're interested into like why you're interested in the motivation of somebody and what their principles are, and you're having an actual genuine conversation. It's not being forced upon you.
Yeah, but the lesson is that behavior should dictate interest. Like that should be the lesson. Like if I want you to act a certain way, I'm going to act that way. And then if you like how I'm acting, you might implement in that. And that's the whole idea of being around your circle of influence. They influence good or healthy behavior and habits. The other thing is like, you become the truth you want to see in the world, right? Become, just do what it is you want to do. like when you're raising children, if I tell you as my kid, don't curse, and then I turn around and curse, I'm not teaching you anything.
No.
But if I don't curse around you, now I am teaching you, because if you value
Truth
me as a
in
parent,
action.
yeah, truth in action. If you value me as a parent, you're gonna respect that he doesn't use bad language. There must be a reason. And I love my father and mother, and
So you're going to emulate it.
yeah. So you know what? I like the way people act around him and her, because, or whatever, whoever your parents are. And I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels. So I'm gonna do that. And the same thing is like, don't hit people. But then if I hit you to help you with your behavioral issues,
That's very conflicting information right there.
don't hit people. But you're hitting me. Stop questioning me. But you said to question things, not me.
Because I said so.
Because I said
that was my least favorite statement as a child, because I'm your parent.
I know. I started using it on my parents. Why did you do that? Because I said so. Yeah, but why did you do it?
Because I wanted to.
Yeah. No, because I said so. I don't know if you're using the term right. Oh, why do you say that? Because I said so. But personal behavior dictates. If you want to be good, people will create good behavior. But again, with the Joss Whedon thing, it's, with the sexual harassment and the inappropriateness, again, whoever hires him, if they don't like that behavior, they should obviously fire him. But again, don't support his stuff, which is annoying, because he made some good stuff, like Buffy and
I was reading
Firefly and Josh.
An interview, or I was reading an article with Michelle Trachtenberg.
Oh yeah, she's beautiful.
She is. But she came out basically saying that there was a rule at one point.
Oh yeah, you can't leave her alone with Josh.
Yeah, she wouldn't be in a room alone with him.
Yeah, because he's a pervert. Watch any of his movies. Watch Avengers, the second one, right? What happens? Yeah, Ultron. Bruce Banner falls and lands his face in her boobs. Then watch Justice League, the reshoots. Flash falls into Wonder Woman's boobs. He's a pervert. There's also the shot is like you're looking up at Bruce, but Wonder Woman's butt is like to the left or the right of the shot. Like that's a common thing, Look at the
Alien Resurrection, where you first see was it Sigourney Weaver come in when she's doing the basketball scene.
She really made that shot.
Yeah, that's Ron Perlman breaks character. Yeah. She actually makes that shot, and he's just like, oh!
Yeah, and they kept it in.
Yeah,
it's really good. But she was like upset because it's out of frame, so she thought everyone would think that it was just dropped in.
Yeah,
she's like, no. So whenever she did a talk show, she was like, I made that shot, and that was the scene that they would keep showing people.
It's such a good scene.
A terrible movie.
Oh yeah, no, it's terrible.
It's terrible. Ron Perlman, though, excellent.
He's an amazing actor.
But this is the other thing. Like, again, if we don't watch Age of Ultron or Firefly or all the books that came from it, or even Buffy, all the people that are decent in that world and those projects are not going to get paid. So that, I guess that's where the conflict is. Like, well, how do we not support him? And anyway, but the thing is, like, really, it's up to you. You either support his stuff or you don't. But demanding he gets fired, like, that's not up to you. It's up to the people he works for or the people that will hire him. You're a pervert. I'm not hiring you. You're an a-hole. I'm not hiring you. You're racist. I'm not going to hire you. I don't like this person. Why? He's an a-hole. He's a racist. He's a pervert.
He's a child molester.
He's a child molester. I'm not going to support him. Arm & Hammer, or Arm & Hammy, whatever his name is. Army Hammer came out. He's potentially a cannibal. He's potentially a cannibal,
which is insane.
Yeah, and multiple people, including his ex-wife, were like, "Yeah, no, that's true."
I'm missing chunks of my thigh.
Yeah, what's going on? But he would like fake eating their feet and stuff like that.
That's insane.
But just if you don't like something, just don't support it. But the idea that you demand somebody else is responsible to protect you for your inconsistencies is insane. Is insane. That's like me going to a party and the majority of people are doing drugs and I go,
you can't
guys, stop doing drugs. Why? It makes me uncomfortable.
leave.
Well, leave. You know what? I'm calling the cops. Why? Because they're going to stop you guys from doing drugs. But we're in our own house. I don't care. It makes me uncomfortable. Then leave my house. Nope. I need to feel comfortable.
Now you are trespassing.
Yeah. No, you're trespassing on my emotions. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird to me.
Yeah, no,
Very weird to me.
I see what I see your point. It definitely makes sense. It's like there's just I don't. It takes so much effort to maintain being offended or upset.
I'm offended.
Be offended.
Nothing happens.
I woke up with leprosy.
Hello, it's me again. They're on a telly
this time. Yep, 5 of them.
5 of them.
Dressed up in suits, dancing like women.
But
be a good person, respect people.
Be a good person. Yeah. Again, look, I get why people are doing it, and we can't change. The only way we can change the world is if. Oh, there's a Jackie Robinson story. I don't know if you know this story.
Probably not. Let's hear it.
But when you know who Jackie Robinson is, right?
Yes.
Who?
The baseball guy.
That's right. He is the baseball guy. He's the guy that ultimately helped break segregation in the sport. He was the first. If I remember correctly, he's the first.
He's the first major league.
Yeah, Jackie Robinson. He was the first.
I'm terrible at baseball. Other than
he became the first African American to play the major. Anyway, well, he was. He helped break the. Chadwick Boseman actually played him in I think the buyout.
He did.
Right. It was called 42, I believe. Right.
That was his number.
Yeah. Anyway, the story goes. He was in the. What's it called? The national. I think it was the National Negro League or something. Wait, let me see.
Yeah, because there was a separate league.
Yeah, what?
It wasn't just recently. A bunch of those players just got inducted into the Hall of Fame, I think, right?
Yeah. They're no longer. There's no such thing as the National Negro Baseball League anymore. But that's what it was called, the National Negro. I could be wrong on this though. I think it's gone now. I think it doesn't exist, and all the stats from that league are now a part of the major leagues,
which makes sense.
Yeah, let me see that. National stats are now major.
Was it this year or just like the end of last year or something like that? Like they ended up, basically doing that merger.
Yeah, see, no longer the stats are led; they are official records. Anyway, so that's again, this is truth through action. You want to stop the segregation and show respect? Just do that.
Yeah, to stop the segregation.
But anyway, so the story goes is and unfortunately I can't remember the guy's name who was telling the story, but he was a player with Jackie Robinson in the national the National Negro League, right? Mm-hmm. And they were traveling from town to town playing, and the guy was saying that we were all conditioned to be segregated, but Jackie Robinson wasn't. And what would happen is we went. He's telling this story specifically. He's like, we went to a gas station with the bus. We just played there on the show, and the person filling up the tank is a white person, and like, hey, that was a great game. I saw it. Packed place, awesome. And Jackie Robinson's like, oh, thanks. I really appreciate it. And he's like, I got to use the bathroom, and he just walks to the bathroom. It says white men only, and the guy's like, you can't use that bathroom. After he just congratulated him. So Jackie Robinson comes back. He goes, oh, really? And he goes, yeah. He goes, all right, stop filling up the bus. He goes, what? So he told him to stop filling the bus. He had 50 gallons on one side he was going to fill up and 50 gallons on the other side of the bus. The guy goes, all right, just don't be in there too long. Right? So
that's insane.
Because it was a commerce thing. Mm. The white guy was like, yeah, good. Right? So they made a rule from that point on. We're not going to eat, sleep, play or get gas anywhere they won't allow us to use the facilities.
Which I think is a good rule.
But they had the control. They had the control, but they didn't tell that. They didn't say, fire that person, or
they just said, "You're not fine.
We won't support you.
Bye."
And to me, that's truth in action. That's how we get change, is by being proactive like that. And again, obviously we have the appearance of white privilege, and we're male cis and all the things that are thrown on us. We can say this with ease, but Jackie Robinson is one of the legends, one of the greats, and
one of the pioneers.
And he showed that, look, we have the power. We literally live in a capitalistic system where we make the money. We're the entertainment. You don't want us here? We won't come here. And then people go, but we want to see you. And
then treat us like people.
And I believe that's the best form of change. Not, you got to be fired, you got to stop this, you got to stop that. Like Disney did something with the encampments, where they were filming in China or something like that, and they were the Muslim encampments.
Yeah.
And they're like, Disney should be canceled.
No, it was they were filming Mulan in those territories.
Yeah,
and I think that's what it was.
But a couple things happened. I think they weren't allowed to show Mulan in a certain market, and also Mulan failed, right? But the reason it failed is because people didn't watch it. Good, don't watch it. That's the point. You don't agree with what they did, don't watch it. But they were like demanding Disney, was wrong. Like, no, we just filmed there. Well, you were supporting their economics, and it's like, all right, look, don't go to China if you don't like China. You know what I'm saying? Like,
specifically those territories.
Yeah. The camps are terrible.
Yeah.
Right. And ultimately, the camp something should happen, right? But again, I think if we're going to do it, if there's something like that's going on, you go to the World Peace Organization. The what do you call it? The thing
United Nations.
Yeah, the thing we created to stop Nazis.
Yeah, the United Nations.
Yeah, the United Nations. And you go, hey, look, this is happening. What are we going to do? Well, first we'll kick China out of the United Nations. Wait, why? We're just China.
Like, you're not respecting human beings.
We don't have them. All right, can we come in and look? Yeah, give us a week. No, we're coming in today. All right, just give us like an hour. But again, we should be taking action towards inhumane physical disruption. That's physical disruption to the society. But why is Disney being held responsible for filming?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, just don't support them. That's it. Just don't support them. But don't demand Disney be fired because China's crazy. And not China as a whole, but
those territories specifically. And that whole instance with,
Germany. Germany wasn't crazy. Nazis were.
Yeah.
A lot of the Germans were Jewish.
Yeah, which is why that whole thing happened.
Yeah, they're like,
well, there's
shave their heads.
There's a really good book. I believe it's called Life and Death.
They still have books? I thought he burnt them all.
Almost. Now they burnt them, but they put them into Kindles back in 1920s.
Is that why they call it Kindle?
Yeah, exactly.
Let's
name it after the thing that we're doing.
That's right. There's 3 pages left.
But there's a really good book called Life and Death in the Third Reich, I believe is the name of it. That is a bunch of firsthand accounts of people who were living.
Bank accounts?
Exactly. That were living in Germany.
See what he did there, folks? You owe me $5.
$5.
He ignored my thing and then just kept. He did the thing.
I mean,
we literally were just talking about this last week.
We could cash out for it because they're the bank accounts.
Yeah. So anyway, there's accounts of the Third Reich.
There were accounts of people who were living in Germany during
living or hiding.
Both.
Oh, all right.
I
don't think you're living when you're hiding.
Definitely not. But the accounts are from people who are like all over different parts of
Europe.
Well,
Germany,
different political spectrums. So you had regular people who were like in the middle politically. You had people who were supporting the Nazis. You had people who were adamantly against it. And just seeing all those different perspectives, and like a good chunk of them were just terrified about what was going on.
Why wouldn't you be?
Yeah, but also a lot of people had no idea what was really going on. Like there was like murmurs and like rumors, but people are like, "There's no way that this is a thing."
If you lived during that time, would you have gone to war? I mean, you would have had to because of the draft. But like, let's say the draft didn't exist, would you be like, "I'm going to go help"?
I don't know. If I was in the United States,
Yeah.
I probably would not have been. I would not have passed because I have asthma.
So you're lazy.
I mean, if I was living in Europe and I was like being hunted because they come from a family of Jews, I probably would have fought.
Wait, what? Oh, like if you were there.
Yeah, like if I was there and I was literally being hunted, I'd probably be like, the guys
I
in the
gotta
woods.
shoot somebody.
Like, I don't want to get shoved into a
Yeah.
camp, and I don't want any of my family members or people that I care about to get shoved into one of these.
I would have helped them escape. That would have been like if I was there, I would have been like, how do we get out of here? But I don't think I would have fought. Like I would defend I would be like, here's my gun, I'm gonna shoot you. But I wouldn't go out to kill people. I would go to help people.
You would do it in defense.
Yeah, I would be the defensive protector. But then I would also be someone who would be an advocate for the union of armies and be like, let's just go in. We don't have to kill them. But if there's 1,000 of them and 10,000 of us,
they're probably going to stop.
They're going to put their hands up.
Don't shoot.
They're going to shoot once, and then we're going to shoot once.
They're going to be like, oh.
That's a lot of bullets.
They got the big ones.
There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 9.
It's like the end of Kung Pao.
Oh, yeah.
He's like counting everybody.
They're going to get the 9 and then be like, we're done. And be like,
just whatever you want.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's how because again, they were physically disrupting existence, and that's wrong. But if they were, again, we just shown that why the Nazi regime even was created. Trump just got away with 3 terrible crimes, and they were like, "Yay, he's a Republican," and they're like, "Good job," and then they acquitted him, and it's like, all right,
which is insane.
But
I mean, maybe it's just I don't have a good understanding of the political system, but I don't understand why they don't just have like a trial and like
they did, but they refused. They wouldn't let witnesses.
Not like the impeachment trial. I'm talking like an actual like criminal trial.
They're going to do that.
Okay.
They're going to do it for tax evasion. There's a couple of cases that are up. That's going to happen because he's a private citizen. But they're also going to vote for the Second Amendment,
Article 3.
Article 3. Just so they only need a majority, which they have, and they're going to basically say he can't
ever run for an office again.
Yeah, which I think is smart. Not that I'm against Trump, but
you definitely don't agree with Trump.
People are like, why don't you like him? I go, because he did a lot of things I wouldn't do as a human being. Like what?
Everything.
You sure you want to have this conversation? Yeah. All right. Well, he's tried to build a wall. Well, that's smart. Well, why didn't we build one in Canada? Well, we don't have bad people coming from Canada. Oh, really? So if the Mexicans just take a boat around,
go to Canada and then
come in, that's fine. Yeah. What if they take the boat from Mexico?
What if Canadians go to
Mexico? Then they go to Florida into the Keys, and they come up the Key Bridge, and then they come into America. Do we have a border around the Gulf? No, we don't need a border. What? The wall is stupid. I also believe that America shouldn't exist. I don't think
you don't believe in borders.
I don't believe in borders. Not that I don't believe America shouldn't exist. I think
the idea of separating country to country is
weird to me.
Like it makes sense to be like, okay, we're gonna subdivide things so we can like organize and run things.
Well, so you can micromanage.
Yeah, that makes sense. But saying, oh, you can't come in.
Yeah,
it's like why?
You live on that side. What side? There's a border here. Yeah, this cactus says Nevada stops. What? There's a place in I think Nevada, right? Is it Nevada? Where you can literally go to where all 4 states.
Is it Nevada?
I don't know. Where's the thing? 4
states connect.
4 states
connect. That makes sense.
Same point. Let's see.
That's it.
It's Arizona, which is Nevada, right? Nevada's in there? No, it's something else.
What?
Arizona, New Mexico, Utah, and Colorado.
Yeah, Nevada's nowhere in that.
Yeah, never mind. Nevada's above Arizona then?
No, Nevada's below.
You blew who?
What? Papa Smurf.
Wait, how's it below if New Mexico is a part of this group?
Because New Mexico is above, and like Nevada's literally down at the bottom.
So it's above Arizona?
No, it's below Arizona.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, then I misheard you. Check, please.
This is JD's last name. Yeah, so if you go there, there's an actual plaque and it shows there's the four things.
That's cool.
It's like on the ground. They showed it in what do you call it? Breaking Bad. There's a scene in Breaking Bad where she goes there and she like throws the coin. She's like, "Bing," and like it lands, and then she like moves it back. Yeah, see, look how big it is too.
Let's see.
Here, wait,
It's a big plaque.
I'll bring it up on the thing.
Ooh, I can watch it over there.
Oh, for the people.
Yeah, and I can also watch it because I'm one of the people.
See that? See that? Look at it. That's pretty cool. Anyway,
Ooh.
what were we saying? Oh yeah, I don't. Yeah, first of all, he tried to build the wall, and I just didn't understand. I think what he should have been doing is trying to unite people, trying to unite countries to be like to work together, and
Instead of literally separating us from everything.
Yeah. I'm just. My thing is people are people. So if anything against that, I don't believe in. I believe you should help people.
And you believe in teamwork, working together, and literally everything that he did was saying that he was great. America is great.
Yeah, like I don't believe America is great. I think
people have the potential
Earth
to be great.
Could be amazing, but it's not. Like to this day, I still write Earthling, and people make fun of me. And I was like, but I'm an Earthling. Because it's crazy to be like, I'm a Sicilian American New Yorker.
No, New Yorker.
New Yorker. And it's like, what am I? Like, I've never had anyone ask me, where are you from? And I go, New York. And I go, no, originally. But if I was on a date with the black girl that I was with for like 5.5 years. And we're sitting there and someone goes, where are you from? And she's like, Long Island. And he goes, no, originally. And she's like, what do you mean? Like, where are your people from?
Long Island.
Oh, Queens.
Which is Long Island.
And then I was like, are you saying like, is she African or something? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, oh, you're an idiot. Not that I needed to stand, because she was sassy enough, but that's, borders create that rhetoric because we have those borders. But it also gets crazy, What school did you go to? Oh, Longwood. Oh, I'm a Satan person. So, what are you, Suffolk? Suffolk. Nassau's better than Suffolk.
Yeah, like,
where are you from? The city? Oh, which borough? Oh, Queens is stupid. Like
Staten Island.
Everybody segregates. And it's just like, I think it's ridiculous. So that's one thing that I ultimately did not agree with is the separation of life and
people. There's no us versus them.
Yeah, and then if it comes down to, well, economics and they're stealing money, and you're like, all right, well then let's work on the money system. Why is money like that? Why is money that messed up? Why do we give money so much value? Well, that's ridiculous. To overhaul the money system would be crazy. We've done it already several times. No, we haven't. Yeah, no, at one time or another, we were trading fish, and then we decided to put a fish on a coin.
We were doing a barter system.
Yeah. Well, that was even before it was like, if I give you food, can you help me fix my roof?
Yeah.
But eventually the fish turned into
little coins.
A little coin. But additionally, do you know when the last time we changed the system was?
Here in the United States? Was it in the 70s, I think? Was where they changed whether or not the actual like paper currency that we use is backed by gold and silver.
Yeah, it's no longer backed by gold. It's a certificate of. And it's no longer.
Well, that's why.
But that changed the system.
I think if I remember correctly, there's actually printed dollar bills and like coins that during the 30s and 40s, I think, like they some of them have like silver certificate or like whatever, and like it changes like the name on the actual bill to say what it's being backed by. Am I correct? Maybe. I'm just gonna say that I'm maybe correct.
This thing's pretty cool.
What is this thing?
Okay.
It's a thing.
So there's a program. Oh wait, let me go back to the program. So this, just so you can see it. Gold and silver frequently asking. So there's so this is requests to get gold and silver from Americans. This is a real thing. There was a time where they were trying to get gold and silver off the street.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
Why did America want to have their
And then they're gold and silver.
Oh, let's see.
You got it.
Golds. All right. Yeah, look at that.
Let's see.
All right, let's see.
Executive order.
Why did the U.S. confiscate gold in 1933?
Oh, wow.
See? See those other things. When did the U.S. seize gold? There was a couple of things. So 34.
Did they make it a mandatory thing, or is it just that you volunteered to give
it? If I remember correctly, without reading all this, it was your responsibility, and then it was a mandatory. And then also during World War II, I think, right? During World War II, like the hand in your medals and
well, if I remember
help
correctly,
with like weapons and stuff.
Yeah, the hand in the medals, not gold and silver, was to help with like the production, like the war effort.
Yeah. But it was to get the value off the streets. The stated reason for this order was that hard times had caused hoarding of gold, stalling economic growth and worsening the depression. That was the rationale. See, that's what it says, rationale. I don't know if
that makes sense, because if everything's backed by silver and gold, and it's just being like.
But that's not. That's the rationale, but that wasn't the reason. They wanted the gold and silver. How does me having gold in my house, anyway. It was an executive order. So this is when you had to do it. Executive order issued by the president.
FDR. Ooh.
Was it FDR in 33?
Yeah. Because he's the guy who got us out of the Depression.
Oh, that's right.
He's also the only president ever to be elected 3 times.
3 times.
And he's the reason why they made it a law.
He was elected 3 times or 4 times?
Elected 3 times.
He died in his 3rd term, right?
Mm-hmm. And Truman's the guy who dropped the bomb.
He didn't want to.
He didn't.
Anyway.
He was, I think he served a year into the 3rd term, and then he died. Something like that.
Who? Truman?
No.
FDR.
Roosevelt.
FDR. He couldn't stand for anything, but he definitely.
Well, if he had like the little things on, he could.
Did you know he slept with his cousin?
Yes.
Right. FDR slept.
His wife was his cousin, wasn't he? Wasn't she?
She was a lesbian.
She was, and he had multiple affairs.
Yeah, but I think they were polyamorous.
They were also just like best friends, if I'm not mistaken.
There we go.
Polyamorous.
Lots of people were. Oh yeah, he's a distant cousin.
Listen, you gotta, you love who you love.
I don't think his wife. I think there was something else I was reading. Let's see.
We're learning stuff today about FDR.
This is taking far too long. All right, that's far too long. I'm not gonna deal with that.
Not worth it.
FDR's love nest in the park. How president took five mistresses to a country getaway, including his distant cousin, who ended up writing. Oh, there's a movie. Yeah, the movie that's based on the book or letters or something.
Wait, what movie is this?
Bill Murray was like FBI, right?
Oh,
Bill
Murray is FDR.
Murray as FDR.
FDR movie
Called Hyde Park on the Hudson. That's it. Hyde Park. It's a really good movie, by the way. Oh, Laura Lindy.
There we go. I'll have to read this. There's a movie called FDR American Badass. I want to watch this.
You're an American badass. What's this?
I need to watch it.
I know what that is. Anyway, is that it? That's all you got?
That's all I got.
That's it?
You did a really good job today.
Well, I mean, the second hour I took over, but
listen, you're an amazing host. I'm here to just give you.
Next Sunday we have a guest though, so let's see if you can handle that.
I think I can.
You think you could do it?
I can jump in.
You could ask questions?
Yeah.
Well, give me a question that you're going to ask him.
So, what's your favorite ice cream?
Steak.
You know what? I love that flavor.
She's Australian. They don't have ice cream.
They definitely do, but they also eat a lot of kangaroo, which is delicious, by the way.
Is that true?
Yes.
How much kangaroo is too much kangaroo?
Well, if it's starting to punch you, it's definitely too much.
Would you fight a kangaroo?
If not willing.
No, never.
No.
It's too much.
Although if it was like attacking my dog, I'd fight the kangaroo to save my dog.
Would you punch it in the face?
Yes.
But you can't even reach its face.
If it's a baby kangaroo.
Why would
no. If it's a wallaby.
Wallaby here for a while. I'm gonna be a wallaby. Why don't you wait in the car? Did you know kangaroos or koalas are poisonous?
Are they? I think they're just really, really dirty and like
poisonous.
Really?
Yep. It's not really hard to get people to work on the koala because they are very cute and also very strange. Koalas survive on filled with toxins. It's because of the poisonous.
There's a lot of bacteria.
The vegetable that they eat,
the eucalyptus,
is poisonous. It's toxic.
Yeah.
So if you eat them, you could die.
Yeah. So
and also if they bite you,
because it'll get into you. But the male platypus is
also poisonous.
They got these little spurs in their hind
right,
legs.
That's right.
But only the males.
What?
Not the females.
Did you know that if you woke up as a cat, I probably like you, but I wouldn't pet you.
That makes me sad
because you have a barbed penis. Then,
I mean, I would definitely have a barbed penis.
If you were petting a cat and it scratched the hell out of you, would you punch it?
No.
Why not?
I would just push it away from me and be like,
"You'd be like, get away!"
All
right, now if a girl scratched you,
I would probably push her and go, "Hey, get away!"
You wouldn't punch her? What if she's
No.
like scratching the hell out of you, like making you bleed, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna tie you down."
No.
No.
Nope.
Or she's like, "This is part of the ceremony."
At that point, I definitely have to get some homegrown witch hazel and light it.
Would you date a witch?
I have.
No, I mean, like moving forward, especially if they were like, all right, you walk into the house and there's like candles and a lamb on the table, and you're like, "What's this for dinner?" And you're like, "No, I'm sorry, I did a thing."
If they're sacrificing lambs on the dinner table,
yeah, they're trying to silence them.
Listen, that was a great movie.
Are the lambs silence, Clarice? Just tell me. I tell you, it's quid pro quo. I tell you, you tell me, I tell you.
Dr. Lecter.
Think, Clarice.
Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter. How's her accent?
Like,
Dr. Lecter.
Dr. Lecter. Dr. Lecter.
Doctor.
But she like whispers it every time.
He's making a dress. He puts the lotion on the screen. Give me the dog. Put the dog in the bucket.
No, we should be going.
Have you ever done that? Have you? Oh, you didn't answer my question. So, would you date that witch?
No, if she's sacrificing goats on the dinner table, no.
What if she's like, "Can I rub oils on you because I'm trying to, whatever."
Does this turn into like a massage? Because if there's
it's just like, I'm gonna put oil on your feet, so because it'll help you breathe. It'll help your asthma. If she was like, "I'm a witch, trust me, I made this concoction. If I rub it on your feet every day for 6 months, your asthma will go away." Would you be like, "All right, well, we're not gonna make it that far"?
I would ask what this concoction is.
She said it's an oil and witch hazel.
I'd probably be like, "I'll pass."
What if she's like, "So you don't believe in what I do?"
No.
But this is who I am. So you're saying I'm not real?
You're very much real, and you're more than welcome to believe whatever it is that you believe. But I do not believe.
But I want to be with someone who believes, that I can help them. So I'm useless to you.
If you want to be with someone like that, you're more than welcome to be.
So you're gonna stay with me?
You're not putting that stuff on my feet.
But I want to put it on your feet. Don't you love me?
I'm starting to question it now.
I've been questioning it since day one, but honestly, that boozer.
The goat's really what made me start thinking.
How good does sex have to be for you to be like, "So she punches me"? You know what I'm saying? Like, because I know a lot of women stay with men when they're that violent, but there's a whole bunch of reasons for that. But the argument is, well, guys, if a girl's beating them up, why do they stay, right? But really, like, how good is the sex for you to be like, "She could punch me"?
At this point in my life, I've learned that no sex is that good.
Yeah, but what if you're not involved?
Yeah.
Because if you're involved, it's automatically 10 out of 10.
What?
You don't think you're that good?
I mean, statistically speaking, that's impossible.
That's not true.
I have to be divine.
Hey, it may or may not be true. That,
why is it glowing all of a sudden?
If you were with a girl and she said you gave me an orgasm, would you believe her?
Until she's been proven a liar, then yes.
So you wouldn't believe her?
Are you saying all women are liars?
If a woman tells you you gave her an orgasm, she is lying. If a woman doesn't tell you, and her body,
she can't speak.
Yeah, and her body goes crazy, she's also lying. Because if you need validation, you're not doing your job.
That is a good point.
By the way, how many erogenous zones are there on a female?
I don't know.
Come on, you're an expert.
Who said that?
So you're not good at sex?
Nope, terrible.
Is that true?
I'm guessing.
How good is bad?
I've never had sex with myself.
Yeah, you have. I hear it a lot. What are you doing in there? Watching TV.
Where'd all the lotion go?
Where'd the lotion? JD, where's my hand?
Where's my copy of Silence of the Lambs?
Why are you hoarding my Two Broke Girls series?
Don't come in here.
Kat Dennings. What are you doing? Eating cheese really fast like a rat? Oh, I thought you were masturbating. No, that would be wrong. However, you want to watch a George Carlin comedy special? I masturbate to that.
I'll pass.
The church is crazy. Did you see the new George Carlin's special that got him canceled?
Wait, what? No, he's dead.
There's the thing with David Letterman. People are like, people worried about David Letterman. Where did they figure out who Don Rickles is?
Oh my god!
If Letterman's upsetting you, don't search Don Rickles. And as soon as I saw that, I was like, yeah, like he's like, when are you gonna be like, well, he's old, it was a different time, like, because you can't use that excuse.
No, you can't.
Right? But Don Rickles, man, he would slap kids and like he was.
That's insane.
Well, it was like a different time. Do you find Don Rickles funny?
I can't recall any Don Rickles things off the top of my head.
Are you kidding me?
No.
How do you not know any Don Rickles?
I probably do. I can't recall off the top of my head.
You have homework.
I do have homework.
You got to look up Don Rickles. He's one of the funniest. Are you telling me you don't know who Don Rickles is?
And child abusive people ever.
You don't know who Don Rickles is? You've never.
No.
How old are you? I'm not even going to look it up because
we went for dinner.
I don't know. Cock? You want to have sex?
I mean, I don't think it's really going to fill me up. Giggity.
It will.
In my stomach.
You're telling me I couldn't fill you up? First of all, I'm twice your height. How much you weigh?
130.
I'm 70 pounds heavier than you. I'm Sicilian, and my the Bellezza curse is very much part of my life. You know what the Bellezza curse is?
What is the Bellezza curse, Thomas?
It's that we're irresistible. Women find us very attractive because we're funny and have huge penis. To be fair, I like to tell women I have really tiny penis. I go, it's like just below average, and they go, oh, and then they see it and they go, oh, that's bigger than below average. So I win, because it
makes sense.
If I'm like I'm huge, and then they see it, and to
they're
them,
like, add bigger.
Yeah. How do you prepare a woman for your penis? Do you go, all right, look, before we take it off, I just want you to know I'm comfortable with the size of it, and I don't really care what your thoughts are.
And I have to give them the spiel. It's like, oh, it's not the size.
They cut me, and when I was born, I had like 2 extra inches. Honestly,
listen, like that the moil is a little overzealous.
Yeah. You'll notice there's actually some Hebrew written on my tip. It looks like cuts, but it's really I was lonely. Do you think a penis is? I guess it would be bigger with the. I don't think it's bigger because
it's just the foreskin.
It's just longer, but
it's not chopping off the tip.
You still get hard. It's still the same hard, right?
Yeah, because they're not chopping off like length.
You're
just
circumcised, though, right?
I am. They had a party around it and everything.
Did they really? Did the rabbi actually kiss your penis?
I do not recall this because you don't have
a memory.
I was less than like months old.
Have you ever seen one performed?
I have been at every one of my brothers, but I don't recall.
Well, you're supposed to look away.
Yeah, I was
right.
As a child, my parents kept me in another room.
Oh, but you're supposed to look away.
I had no idea. I did the right thing.
Are you kidding me? Aren't you Jewish?
I was raised Jewish.
I was raised Jew, not ish.
I was raised Jewish, studied history, and decided that I didn't agree with any organized religion.
If you had a child, would you raise them a specific religion?
No.
Or you'd be like, stay away from religion?
I would not say anything.
If
they asked me questions, I would answer questions.
Well, how are they going to ask questions if they don't know it exists?
Well, they'll
would
be
you
educated.
Inform them that? You'd be like, look, we're not going to talk about it, but
we're going to talk about it.
Here's a book. I'm like, what is it? I can't read. You're 2.
Grow up, get a job.
Yeah. Next year, you better have work. Let me see your papers.
Where are your papers?
I own you until you're at least 20. The law says 16. I don't think you can read. No, I learned how to read.
I don't believe you.
Would you drown your child?
I mean, only if they were eating all my food.
If they tried to kill you,
well, then
they were like 5,
you have to drown them.
Would you really drown your like? Let's say you're bathing your child and he was holding a knife, and he's like 5, and then he goes to stab you, right? And it gets stuck in your arm, and you're like, "What the hell?" And he grabs it out and he tries to stab you again. Would you just be? Man, I guess I have to make another one.
Honey.
Would you, or would you be like, what do I got to do with this thing?
I mean,
it's broken.
Definitely got to bring it to like the manufacturer.
That's why I won't have kids. I'm scared that's going to happen. I'm afraid my child will try to kill me. Is that that's a real phobia? Let me see what the phobias.
That's a specific phobia
of believing your small child will kill you. Yeah.
The thing?
I fear my 14-year-old son will kill me one day. Young children and the fear of death.
That's not it.
What is what
phobia?
What is the phobia of believing your child? Fine. Let's see. Yeah, look at that. Some people become emotionally. Yeah, it's like having a fear of snakes or spiders.
That's crazy.
It's based on what you've learned. Some of these creatures are venomous, like children.
Oh God! Watch out for that little one. The fangs on that thing.
What is the most common symptoms of phobia? Tense muscles, feelings of weakness. It's from a spider. I don't know. What's one fear you wish you don't get?
That's a good question.
You know, like one day you wake up and you're like, ah, crap. I got this fear.
Agoraphobia.
Agoraphobia, like to leave the house?
Yeah, I don't.
So you just like not having that fear, but being stuck in the house?
Oh, God. I enjoy my alone time because, like, yes. I mean, you got to relieve the stress.
Yeah. Eating cheese like a rat. What are you doing in there? Eating cheese like a rat. Oh, yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah. The Swiss. I was wondering where the Swiss.
Where the hell's my cheese?
You have all the cheddar. That's an interesting tale.
Anyway, so you don't want to be agoraphobic? No.
I enjoy the entertainment industry too much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it working out for you?
I mean, minus COVID.
Yeah.
Well, COVID, everything's really boring.
If you could pick one career other than entertainment.
I used to want to be a police officer when I was a kid, and then I realized I didn't
want to get shot at.
Well, that is definitely.
You'd be like, pull over. You get out of the car. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna go, officer. Why? You can't even see in my car.
Bye.
You know how many people will get away with crimes if I was a cop? Be sitting there drinking my coffee, which I hate. Guy pull, You ever see The Town? With Ben Affleck and
no, I have not.
Jeremy Ryan. Anyway, they're robbing a bank and they're like they pull over and they're getting they're changing their clothes and they're like switching into new clothes, And they look to their left and there's like this old police officer like in a patrol car just sitting there, like was minding his own business, and they had parked right across, and they all stop and they're looking at him like, they're all staring, and the cop's looking at him. And then it's like cutting back and forth, and then the cop just rolls up the window and just goes back to doing nothing. That would be me as a cop. I'd be like, they got machine guns. Have
a great day.
You know what I'm saying?
Everybody.
Like, I'd be the cop that's like, all right, they went through the stop sign. Let's pull them over. Okay, they're not stopping. All right. We're gonna fire you. You're a terrible cop.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't really want to do this. Well, why did you do it? Well, it was either this or entertainment, and I chose this like an idiot. I didn't want to do this. This is just secondary.
It was my plan B.
You would definitely be a cop. I don't think you could make it as a cop because
I wouldn't
you're
be
too
able
short,
to.
right?
No, I can be a cop.
Because
Height wise.
the
I changed my mind because I didn't like
gun kept hitting you in the face.
Ah,
Bang!
my face.
Why don't you use a smaller caliber? I'm using a tiny little 9mm. It shoots BBs.
I'm using a BB gun.
It has so much bulb. Oh, son of a hula!
Shitty, how come
I didn't even hit the target.
keep getting black eyes?
I wanted to be a cop. So what happened? You found out you didn't want to be a cop. Why?
I didn't like the politics.
What kind of politics? Oh yeah, the Republicans. What are the politics of being a cop? Boring. You pick up a criminal, you put him away. Would you tell on a cop?
Yeah.
If a cop was bad.
If a cop was being harmful to other people, if somebody was cheating the system, or if somebody was being cruel, I would definitely.
What if they stop like a crime scene, and the first ones, you and the cop, your partner, are on the first ones on the scene, and you stop a drug deal, and you open up the trunk, and there's like $4 million in cash, and he turns to you and goes, he or she, they say, look, if we just take like $100K each, no one's gonna know.
I mean, guess our kids are going to college.
Would you take the money?
I might.
I wouldn't unless I was by myself.
Why is that?
Witnesses. You can never trust another human being to be honest. Also, if you don't take the money and they take the money, you're going to be on the blacklist. That's what happens. Not always, but if someone's a dirty cop and they're like, I'm going to take some money. You want to take some? And you're like, no, I'm on the up and up. They're like, I got to take the money. But that's why you can't have debt. If you have debt as a police officer, it's a liability. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, you can't have X amount of percentage of debt, and if you go into there's a formula for it, because you're prone to bribes and prone to stealing and prone to.
They want to make sure that nobody can have anything over you.
You're on the but I would definitely take the money because like it would go to something useful. I would give like 1% to like my wife, and then.
Even though you're not technically married because you don't believe in marriage?
I don't believe in marriage. Marriage is the worst mistake I could ever make. Would you ever get married?
Unless you make that wrong turn to Albuquerque.
No, I would rather do that.
Really?
Get married.
What if you end up in
Don't care. I'm not married there?
Fair enough.
I'm happy. Would you get married?
Marriage is not for me.
Now, what made you even think marriage was for you?
I grew up being educated with the idea that I had to go through the whole the routine of finding quote unquote the right person, having like this magical.
Did you find him?
Mystical unicorn basically appear out of nowhere, and I don't.
Wait, did you just say they sold it to me as a magical unicorn? But you would date a witch.
I was being using a metaphor here.
Hey, leave my witch wife alone. Thought you didn't want to get married. I said to a unicorn.
I mean, that would be really weird. And I feel like Peter would be on my ass for that one.
When you see your friends say they get engaged, how hard is it for you not to laugh?
I mean, I definitely chuckle and shake my head.
I always go, oh, that's awesome. You guys would be perfect for each other. Can I be in the wedding party? They say no, and then for the rest of the time, I try to get into the wedding party. I don't want to be, but I just want to see if they get. Let me be the best man. No, I can't. I just want to be the best man. Why? Why not? Why can't I be the best man?
We haven't talked since 11th grade.
Yeah,
but see, I want to be the best man.
My favorite is when someone gets pregnant and then they get married. I go, oh, that's gonna work.
Yeah.
That's the future of life right there. I would rather get a woman pregnant and not get married and be in the kid's life than get married because I got her pregnant.
Yeah, because...
And I would rather her be like, well, if you're not going to marry me, we're breaking up. I'm like, all right, as long as I can be in the kid's life, because clearly she's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's you have to have respect for one another. Period, and then
They have the respect for their period.
well, I mean,
Men
it
don't
could
have
happen.
periods unless you're
Says you.
unless you're.
Wait.
I think it's Egyptian elephant, male elephant.
Oh,
They have,
then maybe I need to
their
go to the
period.
doctor.
Why is it bleeding still?
Yeah,
You might have been for far too long.
it is a
Cheese
little raw.
really. Cheese just messes with your
Became port wine cheese.
wine cheese. Wine cheese.
Wait, have you never had the port wine cheese?
I don't drink wine.
It's a cheese.
Yeah, but I can't eat the cheese if I'm not going to drink wine with it.
No, it's in the cheese.
What is the wine?
Yes.
Oh, then I definitely didn't have it.
Check, please.
What's one alcohol you would never drink?
Never drink or never drink again.
Never drink. Like somebody's like, you should drink this, and be like, I'm not drinking it.
I don't think
heroin.
It's not an alcohol, but yes, I would never drink heroin.
I would never drink alcohol. What do you mean? You know,
like rubbing alcohol. Correct.
Correct. That's the one I'm gonna.
That is the one I will never drink.
I was waiting for you to say bourbon. I'd be like, oh, what about rubbing alcohol? That too. I don't even think you can even. You can't drink.
No, it's the level of alcohol and rubbing alcohol is so high. It is literally lethal.
Really?
Yeah.
We should get some.
Don't we have some?
All right, I'll look.
Don't we have like the
if I mouthwash with that, would that be fun? I think you can mouthwash with it, right? And then I could just swallow it.
Definitely don't swallow it.
Why? What would happen?
You'll get sick and die.
How bad is the sickness? Like if it's not too suffering,
probably,
I might do it.
Like be in extreme pain and puke.
Well, that doesn't sound like I'll die.
Well,
what if I drink enough of it and then go to sleep? Because this sounds like a plan.
This is a terrible plan.
I think it's a possible plan.
I don't approve of this plan.
You just don't want me to drink alcohol.
I don't want you to die.
I won't die. I'll die in this life, but I'll come back as like, little Clinton or something.
It's a little butterfly, but your head on it.
Hey, JD, remember me? I'm back. Reincarnation is real.
Why are you a butterfly? I don't know.
I didn't even start out as a caterpillar. I just was a butterfly. My head's so big. Somebody help me.
It's so hard to fly.
I can't find enough food to sustain this brain. Oh, time's up. How long do butterflies last for like 3 weeks? How long do they live?
I don't know. A long time.
Gotta go. See you as an elephant. Come back. My head is on an elephant. JD.
But you don't have the trunk. We have the ears.
Look at this. I can control my penis. I told you. Look at him move. Hey, you do remind me of a puppy. It's true. Elephants look at humans as puppies. Why can I talk? This is so crazy. Oops. Time to go. Goodbye.
Landlord
comes. I'm a fish.
How do you even get in the house? We don't have a fish.
Oh, I'm a lungfish.
It's a metaphysical fish.
What is one animal you'd love to come back as if reincarnation was real? What's one animal you'd be like, fuck you?
Definitely come back as a monkey. And
that would be so good.
I could swing from stuff.
I could swing from monkeys.
I just can't use my thumb.
You can. It just looks weird. And what's animal you'd be like, why? I'm jumping off the roof.
A sloth.
But they're so awesome. Why? Why is sloth?
Because
they're smart.
They can't move.
Oh no!
Have you seen them?
Sloths can move fast. You didn't. Oh,
what?
Have
you seen a sloth move? They're just like
sloths choose the. Can sloths?
Have you seen them fight
fast? Oh yeah, they're good fighters.
No, they're not.
If they are in immediate danger from a predator, they can move at a marginally higher speed of 4.5 metrics per minute. Sloths can move fast when upside down, but very slow when on the ground. So if they're hanging from trees, they're very fast. On the ground, their maximum speed is 1.5. But they move about 15 to 30 centimeters per minute. Jesus. But yeah, they can move fast,
but only if they're upside down,
which is most of their life.
Yeah, I would hate to be a sloth.
They have a huge penis, huh?
Don't care. Not worth it. I feel like sloths, like nature, were just like, I feel bad for you, dude. You get a pass.
Would you like to come back as a whale's penis?
A whale's penis?
Yeah.
Me?
Like a conscious whale's penis where it's like comes out and you're like, oh man, this is terrible.
Well,
What is
I'm
this?
a dick.
I think they don't. I don't think they have sex. Do they? Do they connect upside down? Or
I have no
I think
idea.
they just shoot their load and the female just kind of swims through. How do blue whales mate? Here we go.
Blue whales or whales in general?
Blue males. Oh Jesus, that dork is huge. That's that's what a penis. The male and female each produce, the stuff. They shoot out sperm.
The males, not the females.
The males, yeah. They do fertilize internally, meaning sperm is deposited inside the female. Yeah.
Mm.
Should we watch that? Let's put that on the podcast.
Let's not.
It's how whales sound.
You can watch Star Trek 4 and listen to whales talk.
Oh, that's a terrible movie. Was it 4 or 3? Oh, 3 was Spock.
Search for Spock.
That was a good one.
That was a good one.
My favorite was probably Wrath of Khan, but only because
Ricardo Montalban.
Yeah. Hello, I am better than you in every way.
He's amazing.
I love that Star Trek at a time that wasn't really like diverse. They made but he was still the villain, so that's something people hate.
Ricardo Montalban being the villain?
Yeah, because he was technically a minority, but he was the villain. So people hate that the villains are minorities. There's also another.
Are they ignoring the fact that they have Uhura?
Who? She don't speak my language.
Oh, what?
I like that her and the captain kiss.
They're Star Trek
first interracial kiss
on network TV.
That's right. Also, fun story. Star Trek had the first female lead in the pilot, and then they ended up changing it.
Oh, yeah. Was it what's her face? Number 1, who never actually had a name.
Yeah.
Until Discovery. Yeah, if I remember correctly, the network for the kiss scene had them whatchamacallit, to do other takes of that scene.
But they did the other takes poorly.
On purpose.
They made them kiss differently.
Yeah, so you wouldn't actually see it, but the actors messed up the scenes, the takes.
Yeah.
So they had to use the one that they used.
I know they'd be like,
yep.
The other thing is there's this thing I was watching where they said black characters never get to remain black characters. Like whenever they are the lead, like the majority of them have to change into something else. So like in Soul, he turns into a soul instead of being a black person, and then like the one with the music, the Mexican kid turns into like a skeleton or something, and then in the Frog Princess, she turns into a frog. So they're only like really human for a small portion of the movie, and they're like that doesn't count as a.
What about Shrek, Swan Princess?
Shrek. What about Shrek? Who's the minority in that?
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like the characters changing into something else, and remaining something else.
Well, the majority, yeah, but she's a troll in that movie. Ogre. She's an ogre in that movie that looks human.
No, she is a human who gets cursed to turn into an ogre.
Yeah.
And then she ends up staying an ogre. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, but you're gonna name many.
You're saying that the
majority of films with minority characters who are the lead. She's not even a lead in that movie. Shrek is the lead.
Yeah.
Who isn't? He's a Scottish troll. But
wasn't that one of the most expensive reshoots ever? Because he's like, I have a character, and he went in and redid it with the accent.
What?
Mike Myers. I thought there was a story where he was saying that he did all of his lines one way, and then came up with the accent and like the character. He's like, no, we have to redo the entire thing.
No. Chris Farley recorded a portion of the movie, and they animated it to Chris Farley, and then Mike Myers came in and redid the voice with the Scottish accent.
Gotcha.
The Scottish drawl. The Scottish
ogre.
Scottish. No, the drawl.
The droll.
The droll. Oh, Scottish.
Get out of my swamp,
Don't do it for me. Do it for Scotland.
donkey.
Hey, you don't have to fight for me. I should have remembered the rocks. You remember that scene from Braveheart? I should have remembered the rocks. Because he threw the rock.
Hello, Chuck Connor.
Remember what he was saying? No, it's his friend. His friend. I should have remembered the rocks. Because Mel Brooks. Who's Braveheart? Who's William Wallace?
Mel Gibson.
Mel Gibson. His character, when they're kids, they're throwing rocks. Him and his best friend, and he's really good with throwing rocks. So then, when they're older, he comes back because his father dies, so he gets taken away. He comes back, and his best friend sees him, and they're both big, and he goes, challenge. And his best friend is this huge guy, and he has a huge, basically a small boulder of a rock, and he runs and he throws it, and William Wallace just stands there, and it lands close to him, and everyone's like, woo, woo, right? It's because you're supposed to hit him or get as close as possible. Mm-hmm. So then Mel Gibson just picks up a little rock and he just throws it and hits the guy right in the face, and he's like, and he's like, I should have remembered the rocks.
That's funny. I haven't seen the movie in forever.
Oh, the movie's so good. My father took me to see that movie when it was re-released because it was up for an award.
Oh yeah, it was the Oscars, right?
Yeah. I like when they do that. A little But there's another, Mel Gibson. You don't like him, don't watch his movies. But he's so good in his movies. It sucks. Like Tom Cruise. I don't support Tom Cruise's efforts in life.
But you're gonna go see Mission Impossible.
But yeah, but his movies are good. But I don't think he's. I mean, he's probably. I don't have proof that he's hurting people, but he's also brainwashed. That's the other thing. We're looking at him like he's the perpetrator, but he's also a victim. He's definitely a victim of being brainwashed. You have to be. It's a cult.
It is 100% a cult. Have you seen Going Clear?
Yeah, but also, I don't. They're not that bad of a cult. They just. I wish they would give me the next rung because I've been paying. Why'd our show shut off? What just happened? No.
Oh god, power's out.
I'm Tom Cruise. When he gets excited,
jump on the couch.
You know why he did that, right?
No.
Tom Cruise fired his publicist and then hired his sister to be his publicist. So then he was doing whatever he wanted to. And then he was losing contracts and everything. So he had to fire his sister as his publicist and hire a new publicist. And they're like, stop talking about Scientology. And he was like, okay.
Yeah, it's insane.
Anyway. All right, we got to go. Okay, bye.
Bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Nope.
Remember to wash behind your ears.